And we're live.
Hey.
What do you got in your head, Scott?
It's my snoot. I'm not getting my bike, so I can need to wear it sometime.
Aye, that's it, mate. Well, welcome to the channel, guys. We've already got 2805 Stevie. Who's that again, Chris?
Ferry.
Stephen Ferry. We've got Dark Visor. We've got Jason Stewart. Zed has just jumped on as well. Welcome, guys. Comments are jumping a wee bit here. So the Smithster and two wheels. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yep.
So welcome to, welcome to our second live stream. This will probably be more mental than the first one, if any of you joined us in the first one. We've got special guests tonight. We've got GMT07 Biker, which is Grant. How you doing, mate? And we've also got Lockwood.
How's it going?
How you doing, Lockwood? Oh, geez, Scott Penny's on as well. So we're just going to talk amongst ourselves for the first 10 minutes, let everybody get on. MT07 Kids just joined with, wait, and I'll show you. We know what way this is going to go the night with him. So I will just take that away. Is it?
Can you kick folk out the chat?
Yes, mate, I can.
You can sunbin them or something, can't you? Is that what you said? You can sunbin them.
I can sunbin them for 5 minutes, then if they start their shit again, I can kick them. And I'm already hovered over MT07 Kid already. So
Yeah,
we'll see where this goes. So currently we've got 13 watching, so we'll just get on our 5 minutes or whatever before we talk. We'll go. I think we'll go to Grant first, but so you get ready, Grant. Tell us a wee bit about yourself.
Choice a couple.
Oh, sorry, I've got Budweiser.
I'll get some Desperado. Aye, that's me, Desperados.
I won the coffee tonight, boys.
No chance.
Aye.
Penny still on, aye?
Aye, she's still there, mate.
12 for Conor McGregor's fight tonight, so I thought it was
yeah.
tribute factor there.
A wee bit of Jack for later as well.
Oh, I like Jack.
Ice rum.
Ah, do you like Jack, aye?
I find it.
I prefer
I like Jill better.
Oh, just before we go much further, a wee announcement actually. IG, I think on my screen that's Grant there. IG granted tight for his height and whatever, but I actually love the guy to pieces. So a big congratulations to him and Carol, because if anybody's on his Facebook page, you'll know he's going to be Granny and Papa.
Oh, aye, well done.
Cheers, guys.
Brilliant.
He is only 35, 36, and he's going to be a Papa, so...
32, mate.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Vlogster on as well. Brilliant.
That's you officially old.
Yes.
There's one for you, Scott. Or Lee. He's getting kicked.
Lee's anti-penny, skiing him at tight already. Evening, Neil.
Neil, evening.
Been a while.
I don't know if it's his brother or his sister, it's one of two. He rides a woman's bike, so he might as well be.
It's a bit sore, isn't it?
Don't text me, that's okay.
A wee bit sexist there, I would have said.
That's for you, Grant.
Oh, I'm used to that, man.
No,
the comment, mate.
He's never ridden one.
We stopped on the bikes here.
No, the comment, mate. The comment that's showing up on the screen, that's for you, mate, for Stephen.
All right, cheers, man.
Jeez, that's quite a long evening.
There's Craig on, Craig Mooney as well. Evening.
Oh, Diesel Gordy's on as well.
So he is.
Right.
Diesel's on as well. Diesel's in the house or in a hedge. Depends what time of day it is.
This is going to crash with that.
This is the guy that's got the only diesel fire blade in Britain.
That's it.
Hey up, chop.
And he's left to tell the tale.
I know.
Unbelievable. So we're now up to 21 watching. So what we'll do is we'll kick it off. Grant, I'm going to hand it over to you. If you tell us a wee bit about yourself, how long you've been riding, what bike you've got. Sorry, riding bikes, no riding. Don't go into that, mate. You take it away, mate, when you go. So yours.
Right, oh, well, cheers, right. I rode bikes when I was 16. Started off with a wee mad MTX50. Went on to an RD125. Was meant to do my test years ago. Fell away for it. The wife went back to a 125 a couple of years back. I took a shot at it. Loved it. So got a wee Duke 125. Rode that for a year to get back into the swing. Sat my test 2.5 years ago now. And bought the MT07 and had it since. Love it. So, aye, kind of new, but kind of no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, still kind of, still learning. You know what I mean?
What do you think of the 7?
I like it, man. It does everything I need. But I like that. I don't think I couldn't have rode a big sports bike or anything like that. Plus, my height, as Chris will tell you, kind of rules me out a lot of bikes. You know what I mean? So I had to do a bit of research and what I could fit, what I could live with. But I'm quite happy with it.
I think you're going to keep it. You're going to move up maybe to an MT09. You tried an MT09?
Do you know, I don't fancy the MT09. I prefer a Z900. I think if I was going up, I would go to Z. I think Z's a better bike. Go and do all the reviews I've watched. I just think Z's a better bike. That's just my personal opinion, and I'm not trying to crawl in with Chris, but for just now, I'm going to stick with the MT07. I'm quite happy with it, so why change it?
Quite right, mate. Quite right.
Is there much a difference in height between the 7 and the 9 and the 10? Did you sit in them all? You tried them all?
I've tried sitting on an MT09 Tracer that my brother-in-law had, and man, I went to stand the bike up, and I was like, no way am I even going to get one fit down here. The bike's going to count over, so I got abandoned. But I've sat in a Z900 at the Kawasaki store in Renfrew, and I just fit on it. So,
aye,
if I go up, it'll be a Z I go to.
Yeah.
There's Ted made a good comment, mate. You can get lowering kits for bikes. You ever thought of that to get you the kind of bike you're after or would want?
I've watched hundreds of reviews, and there's a big divide. You know, people saying they're great, they're all right. Other ones are saying they totally upset the handling. Everything about the bike gets upset, and
yeah,
I don't know. It's funny, I don't know what to do with that.
If you get a Triumph Tiger, I'll get a Grom.
I can't put an name either.
Again, you've also done a wee bit of work to your bike now, though, haven't you, your 07?
Aye, I did loads of stuff to it. Just your base, your usual way. Get rid of that stock exhaust because that was about 40 stone. Put the full Black Widow system on it. Usual radiator guard, wee windshield that I paid a fortune for that makes absolutely no difference.
Just dialing.
Belly pattern tail tidy, new chain sprockets. Got the coolant pipes powder coated because they're a nightmare on the MT07.
That's a good one.
I think that's basically it. I think that's basically everything I've done to it. But it's got everything done I need to get done, so I'm leaving it as is. I'm quite happy with it.
Good.
Plus, it looks brilliant in my opinion. But there you go.
Well, it's your bike, absolutely.
That's it. Absolutely. Everybody loves their own bike. I mean, love my FZ1, but there's a lot of people out there don't. So, I think
that's a nice bike.
I like it. I love it. So, I'm a bit like yourself. Got a number of things to do to it. I think we all have, apart from Chris, who keeps ripping his bikes apart and putting them back together. So, I think the rest of us have all got ideas of what we want to do with our bikes, but Chris takes the piss with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, he said the one thing I've still to do is getting the swing arm powder coated because the swing arm's a nightmare on them and the corrode. really bad, so that's getting done as well.
Do you see that?
Oh, have you?
Oh, there's another good comment for you, Grant.
I know, I thought he was on my side. There you go.
See what Dunk's saying. I would say stilettos was probably better. I think that would suit you better. A pair of stilettos.
No, they make my calves look awesome.
Well, I tell you something, this is quite funny that somebody else has brought stilettos. We had a trial run last night. Stilettos was brought last night.
So you've got, Grant, I'll just nip on, I'm just going to do a screen share here where we can see. That's your channel, mate. So we're talking to you last night about it. So you've got plans for the future. What are you planning, mate?
Going to try starting a bit more motor vlogging. Up to now, that channel started with just like idiot drivers I was catching on my camera. So I started a wee channel just to show you how bad some drivers were towards bikes. And it just kept going along that road because it was only the wee Roadhawk bullet camera I had on the side of my helmet. But Carol's bought me a new camera. It's got the mic and all that. So hopefully, once the season kicks off again, hopefully the videos will get better. Bit of commentary, bit of talking, make them a bit longer. Try and expand it that way, you know what I mean? But aye, up to now, it's just basic videos of idiots. And me saying,
aye, shouting at them. As you do.
Aye, so, hopefully it'll grow a wee bit.
I can't say it's just what you put into it, Grant, and it's just kind of putting that into it, putting the kind of doing all the. I know when I was out, I was just every time I was out, I was just recording it, and even a lot of it was crap, and a lot of the time my mic wasn't working. But you know, it's just good, I think, just to record it all. But then it's just having to sit and edit it, I suppose.
That editing is a nightmare.
Takes up a lot of your time, doesn't it?
You need a strong PC to get a decent. No, if you're doing a 15-minute video and it takes 4 hours to render, then it's just a nightmare. You need a decent PC as well to go with it, so it becomes less hassle. Because I know folk that used to. Dark Visor's a good example. He would do a video and it'd have to render overnight. I mean, can you imagine that? That's a nightmare. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that at all.
Yeah.
That Visor's kind of like Grant's videos when he gave Carol a mic. I think that double act is hilarious because we did a trial last night and you could hear Carol in the background. To see the two of them, I think it'll be comedy gold.
Yeah,
you want to go up the Healy Bray.
That's it.
It's like when you look at like Guestone Lane, some of the stuff that they do with it, you know, with the two of them are just talking, and even when she was pillying, and the two of them are just having a right chin wag and a right laugh and a joke, and it was just it's really entertaining.
It's good.
That's a good niche. That's definitely a good niche.
Especially Carol, because Carol just can have it tight, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's comedy gold.
I've dropped a link into Grant's channel there. That should be it. Aye, that should be the link to his channel. Hopefully I've done that correctly. So help me with a couple of subs if you can. Get involved, and I'm pretty sure that when he gets his new camera set up, you'll take the world by storm, mate. You've got to upgrade Carol's or get her to speak more often. That would definitely be something.
There's Right Rock Rider.
Aye, yep. Welcome, mate.
I see ZTED's just subscribed to you, Grant. So there you go. You've just got up one of them.
MT07's done it as well. That's a $5. He's the only one that charges for everything, didn't he? You want him to do anything, he charges you money.
You've got 2 weeks to pay it, or he's off.
Right, we seem to have lost by Scott.
He's probably. Oh, there he is. I can see him. 2 secs. It's because he was below the rest of it. Scott, got you there, mate.
Sorry, guys.
You're fine, mate. You're fine.
Scott it's I'm done, dusted it. I said hello, I'm away.
There's the Punkster subbed as well. So there you go, Grant. That's a couple of subs for you tonight, mate.
Punkster's a great channel. I don't know if you've seen it, but check him out. He's top notch, the Punkster.
I started getting through his content yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
G-Man's just come out saying hello. That's Grant McStay. Evening. There you go, wee Grant. There's another one. There's Jillian Hunter. Just.
How you doing, Grant?
Done it as well. So hi.
Thank you.
You just doubled your subscriber.
We all really need to start thinking about videos.
Aye, that's it, mate. Aye. Just saying, him and Carol should do a double act on the bikes.
We've spoke about it. We have spoke about it. Aye, so it could happen, mate. Could happen.
Yep.
So basically,
your subs will just go, tenfold if you do that.
Aye, cool.
Aye, but it's not because of him, it's because of Carol's partner.
Well,
100%. There you go. Get onto it, and then you've got Rider as well. So
all you missed was Grant was kind of just saying about his camera and growing his channel, and then we were saying how he should involve Carol into it and do a double act, kind of like guest online.
His and hers motovlogs.
Well, hers will make his channel better, so he's part of her part.
Cheers, Dunk.
I'm sure you'll bring both qualities to the channel.
Zed had good comment there. I subbed to the Funksters thinking it was an adult channel. I was looking for the 10-minute free view. Mate.
Well, when you see his tash, I can understand. See if you look at his tash, he does look a bit like a porn star.
He does. Go to bend over.
What's bend over, Chris? What are you talking about? I don't know. What's that?
You want me to bend over like that? It's fine. It's bad. Always look at my ass. Isn't it? Well, let Grant go. You can take it away and you can do your intro.
Did you hear that there? Aye, on you go, mate.
All right.
Pour your drink first, but
I'm just going to open my drink first.
Oh, wait, he's coming to pour you so I double.
I'll go and get your YouTube channel ready so we can rip right through it, mate.
So I started biking, must be about 15 years ago, maybe a wee bit longer. And I actually bought a bike before I sat my test, and that was before it was the Mod 1 and the Mod 2. It was all just like you do your theory, and then you would do your test, and that was it. And I bought an old Zephyr 750, a Quack Zephyr 750, off my mate, and it was bright yellow with luminous orange wheels. And I bought it off him for £1,000, and it sat in my garage for a year to pass my test, and that's kind of what got me into going through with my test and doing it, or I probably would never have done it. Mm-hmm. And I rode that for a wee bit. Actually, there's a good wee story with that, because it didn't have a fuel gauge on it, and I sat my test on an ER5, and then this was just a wee bit of a step up, going on to a Zephyr, but getting into from a twin to an inline 4, it was just like silk getting on the Zephyr. But we were out for a day. I was out with a couple of the mates, and we were just going past Dumbarton, just going on the stretch up towards Tarbert, and the bike started spluttering, and I was like, oh fuck no, I'm going to break down here. And they were away. I was at the back, so they were away on in front. And I pulled in. I seen a lay-by, so I pulled in at a lay-by, and it's bump, 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 and it just cut out. So I was like, fuck, they were away, they were off, and I obviously couldn't phone them because they were still riding. And I just sat there for about 5 minutes trying to start the bike, and it wouldn't start. And this guy pulled in a car, and he was like, "You're right, mate, you're right." He said, "I'm a biker. What's up?" I said, "I don't know. The bike won't start." And he said, "Right, sit on it, and we'll try and start it." So I sat on the bike, and it started on the button. And I was like, "Oh, it started." He was like, "Oh, it must have been overheating or something, mate." And I was like, "Oh, it seems all right now, thanks." And he was like, "You sure you're all right?" And I was like, "Aye, I'm fine." and away he went. So I got on the bike, and it started, it revved, and I got 20 years up the road and it cut out again. And then I realised I was running on empty. And it was because it was on the side stand. I was getting extra fuel into it and it would start. And then I would start pulling away and it would cut out again. And that was when I realised what a reserve was. But that was me. So I started way back then, and then I've had tons of bikes since then. I'm always changing them. I've had about 3 or 4 VFR VTEKs. Keep going back to them. I've had a couple of Fireblade 929s. I've even had a wee CBR 600. And then recently I had a GSXS 1000. So I got an ex-demonstrator, kept that for about 1.5 years. That was a cracking bike, but I wasn't really getting a chance to ride it that much. So it sat in the garage for most of the time. And I thought, rather than just sitting there wasting away, I'll just sell it on when I can and try and get good money for it. And then I think I bought, what did I buy after that? Did I buy another VFR? I did. I bought another VFR after that, a silver VFR. And then I got the SV. So that was when I started doing my channel. I'd got like a wee camera for my birthday. It was a wee, what was it? It was a GoPro 7 white. I got for my birthday, and it basically just stuck that on and did a couple of wee bits just on the helmet, and then looking at the footage. And then when I got the SV, I started thinking, right, I'm going to buy a decent camera and go out and do a few. And that was roughly when the lockdown happened. So I kind of bought a bit of kit during the lockdown and tested it out, walking about the house with my helmet on, checking that the mic and all that was working, and, everyone was doing what it was supposed to be doing, and that was it, really. I just kind of started the channel for there. So that was roughly about June, July, maybe. I kind of started getting out, doing bits and bobs. And that was it. Just kind of, this is me.
Then you ran into us lunatics.
Run into you lunatics, aye.
Aye.
You know what? See, as probably before I started vlogging, I was watching like Richie Vida just because he had a VFR, and that was kind of how I kind of found him. And he's great at the vlogging because he's really down to earth. He just comes across as being a good guy. Him and Andy Mancam, and they're massive now. When you see the amount of hits they've got on their channel. And just kind of starting out with them, and then it was that was it. So I did the first one, looked at you guys. I seen you guys were doing your own thing before the Basic Bikers, and I was kind of watching the AyrshireVlogster and a few of his stuff, and then you would see like Throttle Daft and Scott Nav would come into some of the videos, and you would see AyrshireVlogster would be talking about you guys, in the videos, and that was how I got to know who you guys were. But and then obviously you started the Basic Bikers
during lockdown. I may add, brilliant idea.
Lockdown,
But it worked out fine for us.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Actually, the first outing when we left for Kelly, that big stretch. Aye, that was a good wee run. That. So
that was bonkers. That was totally nuts. That run. Scott, were you in the bypass and you and when we got to Large, he said to me, "The guys flew by me." He says, "I don't even know what was going on."
Aye.
Oh, that's it. I remember you were sitting in the lay-by. That's right.
There was a few.
Aye, it was a good video you got, mate. Well, that was nuts. That first run was absolutely nuts. I stayed in the middle. I stayed in the middle with you, Lockwood, and a couple of other guys, and then we had the guys at the back, but the front runners, holy jeez, man.
Yeah, I think I'd only done about 4 or 5 videos at that point, and I was just trying to see how I could get footage and stuff, and I think I tried to keep up with 3 of the guys in front, but I was on an SV, you know what I mean? They were on liter inline 4s, they were off. You know what I mean? There was no way I was going to keep up with the guys. But it was a good day out. Some turned it.
It was. It's been the actual Facebook side. It's been really successful. Well, it was last year. Obviously, it's changed at the moment. We're in winter and we're in lockdown. But the Chippy run became such a favourite with everybody, wasn't it? It was just nuts. 50 bikes, 40 bikes. No, each time we'd get there, and you're just like, this. How big can, how much bigger can this get? Because was it Chris? You were meeting them at Linwood as well.
Yeah, I was in Glasgow working, so I was meeting the Linwood McDonald's, and there was like 20 of us coming from there. Yeah, I might say his name wrong. Something Lecky, maybe Brian. Can't remember, but he turned up and he's Kawasaki too. And when it just pulled in, everybody just stood there like, what the wind? So it was 20 hours for there, 30 oddies for Kelly. Ended up meeting, there was 54 bikes at one point.
And the Facebook page just kind of exploded for there. What we at the now, 1400?
Yeah, but well, Mr. In fact, you don't have the SV anymore, though, have you? You've upgraded.
Yes.
Aye.
So that's right. Yes, I got rid of the SV and I bought a CB1000R. Only because I was in lockdown, I was pissed off, so I got shot at it. But I did miss the SV. I missed the twin. See, just that low down grunt and the noise.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the CB's a gorgeous looking bike, you know, and I do find myself kind of sticking my head in the garage every so often and having a wee scoot at it.
That's right. Just got to pick up on that comment. Scott, Jillian came all the way from Greensmouth with another girl, all the way from Greensmouth on a 125.
I was going to mention that as well. I remember that night.
Crops up
Did you leave the day of work or something to get back?
something like that. I think they left large about 6 or 7. A few hours. So
Nice leisurely ride, that. Yep.
I actually remember, and I'm sure they went a long way on the way home as well. So they did, because they enjoyed it that much. They stayed out and just went a long way home. So, but I just commented a couple of times asking about G Mackey, sorry. He was asking about the Vulcan S, if anybody's had any experience with it. I think he's asked twice, but nobody's answered. I know a guy's wife who's got one, and she absolutely loves it. That is pretty much my only experience.
Sorry, mate, I missed that in the comments. Carry on, mate.
I only know her, and she absolutely loves it. And he's saying he's going to try and look at it for his A2 license. Don't know if any users have had experience with it. But that's
I've only seen it. I've never ridden one. I've only seen it.
Looks very
fantastic.
In fact, I'm sure we've sat on it at the bike show. And it looked like grown for you. But as far as I know, the ride's lovely. I think it'd be a good, but it depends on what you want to bike for, what style you're into. But if you're into that style, I think that is top notch styling for an A2 license.
Nice.
It looks like that.
Gentlemen, just before we go any further, I'm having some issues with my camera. So I'm going to declare some technical issues and bow out.
No bother, mate.
Okay.
Have a good night. And all you people that are on the comments, thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch up with you some other time.
Cool, mate. Take care. Stay safe.
Peace out.
See you later, mate.
Peace out.
See you later.
Can I quickly go back to the channel? What I didn't mention was I also bought an old VFR 750, and I've currently got that in pieces just now, recording what I can. And effectively, I'm in the garage recording video and just ripping it to bits, and I'm in the process of putting together. I'll probably get about 2 or 3 videos still from the tail end of last year to edit, and my plan was to edit them first and get them out. But I've had so many people ask me what's happening with the VFR, you know, how you getting on with the VFR, can't wait to see the footage of, you know, what you're doing at the VFR. So I've started just editing a bit of footage on that now, so hopefully that'll be out. The first part of that will be out next week, and that's basically me just ripping it to bits, all the bits on it that need done. It needed, the suspension needed done anyway, so just getting new springs in the front. I've got a new shock for the rear, a better shock for the rear, and I'm redoing the brakes and stuff like that. The wheels are getting powder coated, all the fairings are getting resprayed. and then hopefully I'll get out in it at some point this year. That's the plan anyway. That's if I've got any money left.
Aye. So you bought it for what, 350 quid, and it will end up costing you 3,350 quid.
I know, but you know what? The thing was, I was still missing the VFR. See when I bought the CB, I was still felt like I needed another bike, and I just needed something. The CB is great because it's probably a bit like the Z, where it's like raw. It's like, you know, it's so fun to ride. But if you want to go on, you know, if you want to go for a wee tour for a few days, it's maybe not the comfiest thing if you're doing a lot of motorway stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought I want something that's fun to ride, but it's still a good kind of tourer. And I knew the VFR was that, but I couldn't afford another kind of decent priced VFR. So I was scouting about just looking to see what was out there, as you do. And there was a guy on Gumtree down south was selling it for 650 quid. Saying it had 50,000 mile on the clock. But then I found out that it had actually 96,000 on the clock. So I got it for $350. So
good man.
It was one of the ones where none to lose. If I got it and it was a heap, then I would just sell the parts.
Break it down.
I would just get my money back on it. But it's actually, I've been really surprised at how good nick it is for a 30-year-old bike. You know, when you look at some of the bolts and fittings on it, and they've never been touched for the bike was new. You can tell just by looking at it, they've never had a spanner on them. You know, it's not been molested. So I think it's worth the punt. But I might run out of money before I get it finished.
Hondas, they're almost bulletproof.
Aye, engine is anyway.
Yeah.
It's not one of these quick things where we'll just put out a new bike just for the sake of it. They build a bike to last.
Aye. You could definitely see that. You could see it even stripping the forks, Chris. I couldn't believe the amount of coats of paint and lacquer that were on the forks. He just tried to. I was putting paint stripper on them and it wasn't penetrating. You know, I was having to scrape it off because it's that thick. But you don't get that nowadays.
No,
definitely not.
Well, before we move on to your channel, mate, I'll say evening to
Robert.
Welcome to the live stream. But I want to get this question out of the way because I'm dying to know the answers, right? So here we go for Zhead. So get ready. What can you say during sex and also at the dinner table? Now, Zhead's famous for his quotes, so good luck with this one. Any ideas?
How do?
That's sweet.
Pass the salt.
So I can't say anything, but I can't think of anything good. So
we're getting some answers. Pass the butter. What? Pass the meal. Oh. Ooh. Right, come on, Zed. Give the answer.
But I'll quickly nip back. While we're waiting on Zed answering that, Jill and Hunter didn't realise that we were actually that new. If you scroll back up, Mark, we didn't realise that we were actually that new. So yeah, we actually started that.
Nice one, Bex. You know what? I was expecting that kind of comment for you.
Oh, I've got the answer for him. You ready?
Right.
Oh my God! Some of these answers, Jesus. You were saying about Jillian, didn't know we were that new. We started it in July. Started it in July.
I think we actually started in June, but when we could have put it right out there in July, but I think we spoke about it for June, and then we put it out in July. So Jillian, it was literally for July to now, so all good. We're getting there, shall we say?
It doesn't feel as if it's that new or not, does it?
No, it does not, mate.
The likes of yourself, Grant, obviously you've followed myself and Vlogster for God knows when, so you're almost part of the basic bikers, if you like, because you knew us for way back, and then when we started it, whereas you've known us before, not just through the basic bikers. So I think there's a few people that think that it's been around for ages, and you're like, well, It was separate. It's just this. We end up making a collection.
It was funny when I started. It was funny when I started watching you two guys, and it was one. I was still on a 125 when me and Cara were going to Largs, and we come down the windy bit into Wims Bay, and a load of bikes come flying up with me. And Chris, I'm pretty sure you were one of them, because I just seen a splash of orange, and we stopped, and I'm like, Carol, I was throttled off. That's got to have been him. I starstruck.
And then you met me and thought, oh, fuck, yes, mate, he's a one.
I thought the legend's real.
The myth, yes, there's no myth. Well, usually if I have a big flash of orange going by you, it's 9 times out of 10.
Oh, wait, I saw the orange, yellow, the Daytona, wasn't it?
Oh, because when the time
the 955, that was a nice
that was
bike.
it, sorry. It was the Daytona, sorry.
There was only a big one yellow 955 that I knew in Ayrshire, so I was 9 times out of 10 it would be me.
Aye, I'm sure it was you that night.
Aye, probably.
Oh, there.
That's what it probably doesn't seem. It seems longer for you because you fought for the 955 was 4 years ago.
Aye.
Was it?
Oh, aye. So it was.
Just get ready after I kind of teamed. After I got that email for you saying, he sends me an email saying that there's a bunch of guys from Kilmarnock we normally go out for runs. You're welcome to join us. And I'm like, aye, that sounds good. And then he says, email me your phone number. And I'm like, dear, email him my phone number. But I did, and that's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, just randomly commented on one of my videos. Now this, I take it that's Grant. No, is that a comment?
No.
In my old work, he ran into me at his old work, and I was talking about the channel. I talked about myself non-stop when I ran into anybody at the beginning, mate. So trying to get subscribers as you do. So cheers for that. The Punkster's just found us on Facebook, and the comment for Gillian.
I'll prove you.
But what we'll do now is a bit Lockwood's dreading probably. We'll have a wee look at his channel, see where he's sitting, what he's up to. We'll be gentle, mate. So there you go. In fact, you know what, mate? I'm going to put you full screen. Talk us through it. 192 subs. You're currently putting out quite a few videos, mate. You're what?
You know what? I'm trying my best, even with lockdown in the winter and stuff. I've got a wee bit in the tank, as I said. Every time I was going out, even for just a wee half-hour scoot, I'd take the cameras out. But I felt a bit lost, not going out with the cameras. You know, so I'd take the cameras out and I'd always just store the footage and whether I used it. So I've just kind of gradually been through it, and then obviously bringing the VFR in, I'm going to have footage throughout. So what I have noticed, and I've had some folk say this to me, is that you're getting a lot of views, even though my subs maybe aren't that great. There is a lot of folk looking at it, and I don't know I don't know if that's down to the tags that I'm sticking in, or whether it's just down to the way that I'm labelling the heading, or it might just be the fact that I've got the new CB, you know, and folk are just looking at that. You know, that might have been what it was. I know getting back to the early stuff with the SV, I wasn't getting that many hits, but I seem to be getting quite a lot since I got the CB.
Yeah,
the channel's doing well, aye. Healthy.
Yeah, so
3.5k views in the last 28 days. You're actually beating your channel on that, although we haven't had a chance to get a lot of content out. So, you're doing well, mate. So again, I've popped his channel link in the chat there, guys. If you want to go and want to go and check out his channel, then go ahead and do that. Anything else you want to add, my friend?
Not at the moment, no. I'll just try my best to keep pushing videos out. I know I think we're at that time of the year where we're all kind of desperate to get back out, aren't we? And you know, we just kind of lunge onto a decent video that's, you know, gets the whole heart racing again.
That's
it. I'll try my best to push out what I can and keep everybody interested. But I'll roll on this year and hope we can get out and do some stuff. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mel's Motors managed to sort out. I take it that must have been to sort out to comment.
Probably.
Not sure of that one. What there? What's that? Whoa.
Gordon Stevens. Because Gordon's wrecked that Sammy. He's drank too much fucking diesel.
There's one for you, Chris.
Oh well, so again, Z-Head is one of the reasons I actually get into vlogging. As it says, I met him with Graham's, R6 Monkey. We keep saying this, and I've said almost every other live stream. If you're not subscribed to Z-Head or R6 Monkey, go ahead. Two of the nicest guys that I've ever met in bikes. Will do absolutely anything for you. Any help you need. The two guys will literally text message away. And I've nicer guys you can't meet. But I probably met Zed 6 years ago or something maybe. When Graham's used to live near me. And then I met them up at the Scottish Bike Show when they were doing their big stint up there. And then after that, the rest is just history. Simple.
And I met him, as he said in the comment, I met him in the car park at Largs, I'm pretty sure it was. And I was instantly kind of impressed. I never knew the guy, and he started talking away to me. So I was definitely, as Chris says, R6 and himself are two of the nicest guys you'll probably ever meet.
And what a lot of people might not know about Zed is Zed has actually rebranded his channel. So Zed has actually scrapped this, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say maybe 8, 9, 10 months ago. He scrapped his channel, and Zed had, I believe, 1,600 subscribers, and he just wiped it and restarted it again. He just wanted to rebrand himself, I believe. He wanted to go down a different route, so it wasn't just motorbikes. But he's flying now in the space of the wee time that he started back up. I'm sure he's about 200 odd subs already. So
yeah,
Zed's
doing all right. I mean, I kind of watch his videos regular when he sticks them on, and he seems a really nice guy. I think we were trying to arrange a wee day out just before it get cold there, you know, and it never happened. But I think the planners were definitely going to try and meet up at some point this year and get a wee ride out, get a wee kind of vlog going.
Aye, definitely be worthwhile, mate. Aye, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I've got a wee question here for Gordon. I'll pop the question up, let you guys talk about it. I'm going to go nip and get a refill. Okay, so for Gordon, diesel.
Well, with the experience of having them, I would do Fireblade, just for the simple fact I couldn't justify the money I spend in a 10-15 grand on a BMS $1,000. I think that I can get one for about 7.5 grand. I got my Fireblade for 2.5. I couldn't justify spending that on a toy.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
I've got limited experience on bikes. Not got a clue about any of them, so I'm sorry. I am no help.
I would say that the early S1000s they had quite a lot of recalls and stuff, if I remember right. They were for what I kind of read up and stuff. They were going into the garage quite a lot, you know. And there was a lot of issues with them. For me, I'd just stick with the Fireblade, and I think it's looking awesome. See that the latest one I think is gorgeous. I just love the front end on it. It's just beautiful.
I think the performance and grunt wise, I think the S1000 will blow it out the water. But again, I'll go back to Honda build bikes, engines to last and bulletproof. So the S1000 ends up going into very techy and going into such a complex unit. You end up needing a laptop constantly for the bombing things.
Yeah.
It's meant to go wrong, innit? But the mere
you end up, how deep's your pocket? Whereas the Fireblades are almost built to last.
Aye, that's what I would say anyway.
But that's what the Pulsar said. The Pulsar also in the old blade, pre-electronics and carbs. Well, I have a 2003 954. So I do, and I just prefer the older bikes. Not too old, but I do prefer it.
I've actually started looking at the older blade. Was it the one that had was it a 16-inch front? that was on it, the kind of the older ones. And you look at them now, and when you see them side on, and it's the ones that have got like the holes in the front, you know, at the headlight and stuff, and they just look a really short wheelbase. I don't know if it's just the short back end and the cut. I just think they're really nice looking. You know, I've thought about it.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's I think you're right. They do just stop. It's almost like a flat end on the back of it. So
yeah.
And they do just stop. So we spoke last week to what our plans were kind of for this year. Have you got any adventures that you want to do? I'll quickly just jump in. I've actually booked the MotoGP with GMT, who's on the chat, Gordon here, fun enough, he's coming, he's on the chat, and we Curtis Craig and Stephen Ferry, he's on the chat, so I'm actually pre-booked the MotoGP for Silverstone in August.
Yep.
So, COVID depending, obviously, we'll be that, so
that'll be good.
So that was something else that I've added on in the past 2 weeks. For plans this year on what I'm planning to do and getting to.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I'm sure I read somewhere that you have to have a blow up poncho and stick your arms through it. It's got to be and it's got to be elasticated. And I think if you've got one of them, you'll be all right. But if you're a smoker, you're fucked.
I'll be fine. We're having any joke to this. We actually need to supervise Gordon when he goes to petrol stations, though.
Aye. That's a must.
Does diesel burn though? Diesel burns, does it?
I don't know, but his ass does. So have you two getting any planned that you're going to ride out this year? Big tours or in if you can?
I want to go back a run through to Glencoe, Fort William and stuff. Me and the brother-in-law done it last year, the year before. And I had my two cameras, or like spare camera to document the whole trip. And got home and managed to wipe a lot. So absolutely no footage whatsoever.
Jeez.
So
it's a nightmare, isn't it, when that happens?
I was raging, absolutely raging. So I know it's not a big adventure, but that's one thing I want to get done this summer. And going further afield, I do want to get the NC 500 done at some point.
Yep.
Well, there's a man. Well, to me, he's birthday. There's a man there. He fancies doing it in June.
Yep.
NC.
Yep. We'll get eaten to bits with midges in June. You're better doing it in May, but I've already booked the time off in June for the TT. I don't know if Chris said, but TT's now been cancelled twice for us, so we're putting our faith in 2022.
Yep.
So we've let it roll over for 2022. Hopefully it will happen, but I definitely want a big run in June. And the NC 500's on my list, mate. Definitely.
Aye.
Good. Well, I'm doing the Wild Bad Weekender, end of July. So that's a weekend. That was cancelled last year, but the plan is for that weekend. So I think it's Richie Vida that kind of organises that, the kind of Wild Bad mob. So we're meeting down at Derby. I think I'm going to just make a 4-day event. So I'm going to go down on the Thursday and stay over, and then we'll meet up somewhere in Derby, I think it is, on the Friday morning, and then we'll ride to Wales. And then we just, basically it's camping in Wales on the Friday night, and then there's entertainment and food and all that there. So I can't remember, I think it was about 150 quid for the ticket, but that covers all your food. You just need to, basically there's beer tents in that there. So that's for the Friday, and then there'll be a ride out on the Saturday, and then more entertainment on the Saturday night, and then back up the road on the Sunday. So that's what I've got planned anyway. And then maybe a wee overnight somewhere before that. I don't know if I'll be allowed 4 days away twice in a year.
Well, to be fair, you do have small twins, don't you? You're quite young.
I've got they'll be 5 in April. So yeah. So I'm quite lucky that I'm getting away at all.
That's what I think.
That's hands full stuff, mate.
You're not allowed to go because you'll be babysitting as well, Papa.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
See, Melbourne that they had to cancel. They're not
Aye.
there last week.
Yep.
But I
So-
do sure all Irish racing was cancelled right up to September. I think Ireland's on a kind of shit time just now as well.
I think we're just going to see a rash of cancellations again. There's some people hanging on to. They think these things are going to happen, but I don't see it.
I think 21's going to be a write-off, to be honest.
Yeah.
You don't want to say that, but the way things are going, man.
Yep.
Aye, I would agree with that. To be
I
honest,
think even if we get out, see if even if like, lockdown allows us out to travel, then there's nothing to stop us chucking a tent on the back and going somewhere, is there?
No,
Or at least that's
I agree with that.
yeah. Definitely.
in Ferrero, the odds on is Gordon getting lost before we even get out of Scotland to head down to Silverstone. There's a great chance of that. There's a great chance that he'll end up putting D's on his bike. There's a great chance his fairings will split.
Use this pair of plenty of batteries and make sure you're recording.
Oh, aye, definitely. Zed, he's planning on going to Thailand.
oh no, he's no new. Look at that. Lockdown until March the 3rd. Ireland.
There you go.
No, I never knew that.
It might be an absolute riot, but here's hoping by the tail end of the year we can at least do something. Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's not much we can do about it.
Definitely. There's not much we can do, is there?
No. Just want them to lift it so that we can actually get back out, because I think as a group, well, I know our group and I know the Facebook group and I know everybody I speak to, we're all staying in at the moment, where we could really jump on our bikes and say, oh, we're going for essential shopping, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's for our mental health, but we're sticking to the rules, which, because we want to get out of this quicker, and that's what it comes down to.
I'm going to need a CBT again.
Aye, are you?
Well, I can't remember how to ride a bike. Footman's a twisty, but
I love old man Tony's comment.
No, evening, all. Are you doing subtitles? It's good to see you on. Excellent. You can get subtitles if you want, but it's better just try to guess what we're saying anyway. That way.
Aye. try and lip read. I'll get slurred as the night goes, mind.
Oh, he's fucked.
Aye, because we're all drinking, Tony. It's going to get worse.
Oh, mad. But aye, it's mental. What's going to happen this year? I don't know.
I'll have it
I'll be happy with a couple of chippy runs. That's right.
Aye, well, I'm agreed. I'm quite happy to nip up to Glasgow and get the team for Linwood and ride into the lab. That's how bad it's got that you're more than happy to nip 30 minutes down the road to ride your bike.
Yep.
Well, I went into the garage today just to have a look at the bike. I touched the back tyre and it brought a wee tear to my eye. I think my bike's missing me.
I reckon it fell.
Someone else there.
Well, somebody said to me I should give the exhaust a good going over, but I don't know what they meant by that. But aye, that's the way I felt today.
Well, I've heard your exhaust about your screamer, so I don't know if I'd even go there.
A Fanta can I heard.
By the way, I've got used to it and I absolutely love it, but anybody behind me hates it, so I'll need to change it.
There's no difference behind me, except for Dark Visor, so you're alright.
Yeah.
We're back to this again. He's been quiet tonight, actually, Dark Visor. He's probably scared in case we...
Aye, Pongster, that's spot on there, mate. You know, just kind of doing local rallies and just helping out all the local support, definitely. Aye, without a doubt.
Aye, definitely. That's why anyone that's on our Facebook page, you'll see that we come to Ayrshire, we actually promote two local, one bike equipment shop and one kind of local mechanic that we support, and we put them on our page every week to anyone that's doing bike work or they're needing any equipment or leathers or helmets or service kits, we put put their Facebook pages up on their page every week, and we try and help them as much as we can. So we do. And I think we've also just got a bike painter, bike stroke car. So we put that up on the Facebook page, and he's got my Z now, and he is redoing the full plastics. I know we spoke about this before, and he's got a few bits and bobs here and here. I think after my bike, he's got a CBR 400 that he's got in. He's completely wiping it out. And I know he's got Lockwood's.
He's got my VFR. Yeah, oh, he's got to be doing that, aye. Yep.
So we do.
The panels is in the back.
Aye, we put up on our page, and we help the local team out. So we try and do a bit as much as we can for them.
Yeah. Is that popped on?
Aye, there you go. So we've got Paul Hamilton Kilmarnock for accessories, and then we've got EA Customs. EA Customs, I've used a lot of people to work in my bikes, and I can't see by them now. Anybody that's a member of our page or a supporter of the basic bikers, you go into EA Customs and he does you a reduced rate to work on your bike for labour, and he also uses Paul Hamilton for parts, so they end up winning out it. So again, anybody that's needing work done, head down there, and anybody needing a bike price to be sprayed or a car part that needs sprayed, Grams.
We're going to add into this channel supporter thing that goes on all our videos, so Graham's we'll squeeze it up, and we'll get Graham's on there as well with contact details for him.
You'll get good deals for these three guys through us, so definitely go and show them a bit of love and get something sorted with.
Brilliant. Good.
Well, there's been a lot of comments, man. Oh, there you go. Dark Visor, eh? I'm no slower than Mark. Mate, even I know you're slow. So don't be giving us any of that crap.
I know nothing about you, Dark Visor. I don't know. I know you comment on the channel, mate, and I've seen a couple of your videos, but I don't know how fast you are.
He's not, don't worry.
Do you think Whiskey will help old man Tony understand us?
100%.
Aye, probably. Yep. I'd say there's a good chance.
I'll pass some to you if you want. Proper 12 for my
Old man Tony, I don't know. I've not got him, I don't think.
Oh, mate, you haven't. He's not put a video up for a wee while, but
no. Old man Tony. Actually, I'm going to just look for him. I'm just going to look for him now.
He does a lot of woodcut stuff.
She had a lovely ride up to Fort William and then over the bridge and get some lovely pictures. You know, that's Michelle. Grant, she comes for you down your way.
Aye, Michelle. Aye.
There you go, Tom. There you go. Get up to Fort William.
Definitely.
There's
as
well. There's quite a lot of comments coming in.
I know that's I'm trying to go through and try to through them as well, but
Ted,
he can vouch for Graham's work. He's again Graham's painted I had a CBR 600F. Graham's repainted the tank for me. Anybody that's seen my Z, all the black on it, Graham's done on my black on the Z, and he's now got every bit of plastic and tank. Anybody that's on our Facebook page will actually see, just he put up a wee post, there's a picture of my tank. So
looks good.
He's put up a wee snippets here and there, so his work's top notch. So it is.
That's no happening, by the way, G-Man. Sing us a song, lads.
Nope. We'll just get Gordon to phone you. Gordon will sing you a song.
Z-Head, old man Tony did me a custom beard comb, aye, with the Z-Head logo. I watched the video on that, mate. Yep, he is very talented.
That must have been some size of beard comb though for his beard.
Exactly.
But it used to be longer than what it is because it was almost the size of Grant. Grant would be able to go in his beard and just stand there.
My cousin,
He
it.
done, he done me a keyring as well with AyrshireVlogster burnt on it, or whatever he uses to actually write on the wood. He done that for me as well. The wife stole that as soon as I got it. So, he's a good man.
There's Right Rock Rider. He's not ridden the Aprilia, but can anybody comment on the Honda? What Honda is that? Is that the CBR 650F or R? Or is it a different Honda? I maybe missed something there.
Aye, that'll be in a previous comment.
Yeah.
It's 650F, mate. 650F.
I think the only person I think is that Visor. Is that a 650R or 650F?
Oh, I don't. 650.
650R, is it no an R?
Oh no, it's an R. It's not the F, mate. It's the R.
Yeah.
The closest I've had to the 650F was the 600F. That was on the F4, the 2005 model. I loved it. I absolutely loved that bike. The 650R. Well, that Visor can comment because he's got one. I've actually ridden that. I went for my Z and we swapped. And the 650R.
It's the F he's got, by the way.
It is the F he's got. I've ridden it, but he owns it, so he can talk about it. It's grunty. It's got more power than what I expect it to have because of the way that Visor rides it. But up to his back. It's an electric bike. Ride it hard, performs well. Needs an exhaust because it's like an electric bike. It's very quiet.
It's very quiet. It's quite a bike, definitely.
I think it's 3 years coming up that he's owned it now. So, Rock Rider, he's the man to ask. He'll give you a wee rundown on it.
You can bang comments back and forth in the chat there, and he'll tell you.
There's Scott 31. Scott, if you're in Ayrshire, I would go to EA Customs. He will be more than happy to look at it for you. He's in Kilmarnock.
Guys, I think I've lost my screen. I'm just sitting here. I think I'm frozen. That's just GoPros for you, innit? Give me a sec. Hopefully we'll be back in a minute.
Mel, she taken the way out in the bike last week, went to Wales for a cuppa and then picked up a script. It was nippy. I can only imagine it was nippy last week on the bike.
That'd be freezing, man.
Aye, I'd imagine it was right nippy.
It's not that amount of shit on the road now.
Aye. And the minute you get it in, you're cleaning it, and I'd imagine it's constant. So it is just the cleaning. Aye. It's not something I fancy too much. I go out and I don't really mind the weather, but a bit too icy for my likings.
Try to catch up in these comments. Here's the next one for Zed. Is everyone looking forward to the big Triumph global launch of the 1200 speed triple RS?
Well, I've looked at this, obviously, because I said 2 weeks ago that I fancy a full bike, and it caught my eye, 100%. I love the Triumph, I love the noise of the twin. Aye, I've looked at it, I'm quite intrigued by it, but we've also got Kawasaki's buying it, I feel for the RX, or the not, I'm sure. Or XR. Can't remember. By it does look the dog's nuts.
The biggest one.
Sorry, I've got that here. I was playing fetch and he keeps bringing me his mouse, so.
That's fine, mate. Don't worry. The Triumph Trident, I think, would be the biggest thing to come this year because obviously against the MT-07.
Aye.
That's going to be a biggie, I think.
Well, I love the Z900 RS, the Cafe Racer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just looks the absolute nuts. That's what I keep focusing on just now. I actually told that advisor to buy one because I like it that much. I want him to buy one, so I'm going to ask him.
I do think that Trident's going to give the MT-07 a run for its money. Just going with the videos I've watched.
I think it will do really well because MT-07. It's no. "Hi, okay, they've updated it, but there's nothing on it that's
No.
going to compete with the Trident, and it's run about the same price bracket." So
Fucking thing, man.
I think he tried it slightly very
oh,
expensive.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I know. I'm just trying to still be here in some form.
No, it's okay. We can hear you. You can talk away, mate. But aye.
The Trident looks fine. The MT range just seems to fly out the door. So it does. The MT, you can't actually believe the amount of people that's got the MT range in it, and more the 7 and the 10. It's massive the amount of people. The 7's just huge. The amount of people that's got the 7. It's
I think it's just because it's a basic bike. You know what I mean? There's no fancy tech. It's just a bike. You just jump on it and go. You know, for 10 minutes putting in your rider programs and fucking how many sugars you like in your tea, and you just jump on it and away you go.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think it's down to how you get treated in the dealership when you walk into a Yamaha dealership versus a Triumph dealership? Because I went to a Triumph dealership before Christmas, before the lockdown, and I went in and I got totally ignored in the one in Glasgow.
That's because you were in a Yami.
Could have been, mate. I don't know. I mean, that's the assumption they're making, but I don't know. Is that the difference? That Triumph, when you get into a dealership, when you get into a Yamaha dealership, it's slightly better experience. I don't know.
Let's look at it. When we go to a Yamaha dealership down the road, it's never a problem. That's the one thing you can say about them. It's never a problem. You go in and you can talk to them for 20 minutes, and they stand chat waiting, and you're straight out the door. Nothing's ever said.
Mm-hmm.
Same. There's a lot of dealerships like that. You could buy it, might be down to the actual dealership than anything.
I've never bought a bike for a dealer. So, my 125 Duke was bought for a guy, Moore Motorcycles in Manchester. At the time, the guy dealt exclusively 125s, and it was all high end, low mileage. But see, for the minute we emailed him about the Duke, the guy's service was unbelievable. And he ran it from his house to the garage outside his house. And it was professional, polite. It was absolutely brilliant. My MT I bought for it, I know it's got mixed reviews. That Superbike Factory.
Yes.
I get mine's for there, mate. That's where I get mine's for.
Aye. No, I took the Duke down there to trade in for the MT. The MT was more or less brand new. It was only 5 months old, so I knew there couldn't be much wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they were trying to stiff me on a trade in. The guy took my Duke I run and they come back and he's going, "Oh, you know, your fork seals could be doing your tyres." Now I knew they were all right. And the thing is, I had my brother-in-law with me because of the parking restrictions. He had to park about 2 miles away from the shop. And I was busting for him to get down here because I'd have been like, "Well, you know what? Talk to my brother-in-law. He's a bike mechanic and an MOT tester, and he'll tell you." But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to fucking go all the way down here and argue over 50 quid. So I just done a deal anyway.
Right.
I've heard a lot of horror stories, but I've never actually bought for a dealership, so I don't really know. I walked into the one in Hillington and it was a bit hoity-toity.
The Superbike Factory is for the reviews you read on it's pure 50-50 for
It's 50-50.
I've bought 2 bikes off them and they set up I bought a ZR. Hey, a ZR.
You're back, mate. You're fine.
I bought a ZX6R off them and it came up with a bus tyre.
Aye.
But when I turned it down to the Yamaha dealership and they phoned them up, told them, and they said, "That's fine, put a tyre on it." And he goes, "What tyre?" I said, "Just put the best tyre you've got in stock." So he phoned them back and said, "Right, the tyre's going to cost £210. Right, okay, no problem. Bump, signed it off, sent the money up. Although I think they're 50-50, that was my only issue. And it got resolved and nothing was a problem. They just signed it off straight away. So pure 50-50 with them. I know Vlogster's had a wee bit of a more in-depth 3-month fight.
Aye, but what I had was, I only go, mate. I hit the button on mine's in Boxing Day last year. The year before, sorry, because I've had it a year now. And I never got it till the end of February. There was issues through it with different things. They said the front wheel wasn't right, so they were going to give me a new front wheel. And I says, well, I want two wheels. And then I said I want the colour change to gold, so they painted the wheels. And then there was a brake issue, and I says, well, I want new brake discs in the front. And they done that. So I eventually get the bike, and only 2 months ago, the back caliper was the brake disc was an MT10 brake disc, which was 30mm smaller than the FZ1 brake disc. So the caliper was flexing over the top here. And I phoned them up and I says, it's the wrong size of disc it's on that. So when you've put the disc back on, you've put an MT10 disc on the rear. The front's fine because that was brand new. And she just said to me, go and get a quote. Send us a quote. Sent them the quote and she was like, get the work done. I'll put the money in your bank account. And it was sorted.
For me.
So for me, it was the time delay was a problem, but I got everything my way during that time delay. And there was a year later down the line where I noticed the back disc. Well, I didn't notice. It was actually a mechanic that noticed. He said that the disc was too small, and they changed it like that and gave me my money to get that work done. So it all went well. No issues with them. Apart from that timescale issue. But I wasn't trading anything in. I was just buying direct from them. So it was all right.
I mean, they were not bad. The guy for the phone calls and that, it was brilliant. It was just when I went down there. And obviously the guy looks for the bike and then the mechanic takes it a ride. And I come back and I was just kind of going, all right, here we go. Because we knew the bike was tip top. And then they start with the fork seals and the tyres. And I'm going, the tyres are nearly brand new. The fork seals are fine.
What dealer are we talking about here?
Superbike
Factory.
Superbike Factory, yeah.
I've heard some right horror stories, but I mean, I was lucky, so I'll get no complaints.
I think you'll get that any dealership that will try to chip away at your trade-in value anyway.
I think they're that big, and their turnover is so massive.
Mate, it's not real when you're storing there.
I think they advertised that they have a minimum of 1,000 bikes in their showroom at one time. And I think that the turnovers, they're that quick at turning a bike over, things get missed. Like I brought that bike up for me and I had a bust back tyre. I think things get missed. I think people maybe misperceive what they're about. But for me, they gave me the best price for it, for my trade-in, and they gave me a good deal. And as I said, I got a new tyre put on it straight away, no questions. It was literally, there's £210. Bump, sign it off, that's fine. There's the money in the account. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that their turnover's massive. It's unbelievable. It's probably the biggest place that I know for used bikes. And
you see it everywhere, don't you? You know, when you're just looking at bikes, and if you're on, like, you know, Ayrshire Trader or whatever, if you're on like the what do you call it, Auto Trader or whatever, and you look, it's all Superbike Factory. It's everywhere, isn't it? You know, they've got so much.
I tell you what they do. They give you a free delivery, which I think is just brilliant, because every bike that I bought for down south I've been delivered, so it's like an extra 250. Although it's not a lot of money, but they're losing out on 250 quid to deliver you your bike for nothing. I think people need to have a wee come and go.
Oh, look at that! Somebody subbed.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and check. We're at 501. Hey!
Cheers, Scott.
Empty glass, but.
Cheers,
I was doing it kind of 3 years because their accounts department took ages to do my bank transfer to buy the bike. And see, just standing, walking around, looking at the bikes, I'm not surprised there's over 1,000 bikes. Because I've got them all in sections, 125s, sports bikes, adventures, hundreds of them.
Mel, we'll be here for a wee while when you go.
It's unbelievable.
They seem to be constant, Grant, so they do. So I think a lot of people's negativity is maybe just perceived. I think maybe people just, they want their bike, they want it in good condition. Everybody wants that, but I think their turnover, and I don't even know the amount of people they've got employed there, because I've probably dealt with them twice now, and see the amount of people, different people you speak to on the phone. That the employee staff must be through the roof. So I think
you're the guys in the office.
Aye,
Is it Manchester, Grant? Was it Manchester?
It's in Chester.
Chester. There you go, Punk.
There's more than one, though, isn't there? Is there no 2 or 3? They're kind of all over.
They're supposed to be coming to Glasgow, I heard, but I've not seen it.
That might help bike prices, by the way, today.
I don't know your experience, but I find any bike that I've looked at, I've always bought it for down south because it's cheaper.
100%.
Everyone, aye.
Yep.
I bought my CBR 600F from Ride-On. Other than that, I down south because I've always said this, about £1,000 to £1,500 cheaper.
Aye. When I was looking at the CB,
there's somebody jumping off, so we can say cheerio to them. Rock Rider.
See you later, Rock Rider.
Hey, Rock Rider.
See you later.
100%. Anything for £900, actually, maybe to £1,500 cheaper for the same bike.
Aye.
And we actually seen this on our Facebook page the other day, or somebody. I'll name them nameless. We actually had to go at somebody for saying, "Oh, your price is too high," and he's like, "Oh, but we can error for margin." So I was like, "Well, I need to defend this, boy." So I was like, "Well, if you go down south, you're getting your bike, the exact same bike, but down south, and it was £600 cheaper."
Yeah.
And I think the bike down south had done some like 200 miles less. And I'm like, so can the boys make a valid point here? But he didn't like it because he's like, "Oh, they're saying it's greedy from dealers." Well, in Scotland it is.
Mm-hmm.
The market's so small compared to down south, so you can't expect people to go. I'm not going to buy a bike that I can get down south for £1,500 cheaper.
Yeah, that's it.
When I passed my test, I went through Ride-On, obviously, doing my test. And we had an MT-07 right by the cash desk. And it was a 2016, so it was the older model.
Right.
And it was 4995, right? And the lassie's like, "Grant, passed your test there, the bike for your right ear." And I'm kind of looking at the price and I'm like, I don't know. For an extra £350, I went down to the Superbike factory and got a 5-month-old.
Aye.
Late 2018 with half the mileage.
Aye.
Well, that's what the question is. Where they're getting their bikes for imports. Actually, I've heard that the other arm of Superbike factories will buy any bike or whatever that name is.
Yep.
Oh, I will buy any bike.
Aye. So that's where they're getting their stock for. There's no imports. It's actually through we buy any bike.
Aye, that's it. I think it's Chris was saying, their turnover is so much that they're making a smaller margin off each bike, but because their turnover is so much, they can afford to do it.
Yep.
You know.
There's another one. But Beck's bought her bike down south, 2 days, free delivery. She got it in 2 days. So there you go.
Was that for Superbike factory, Beck's?
Oh, I don't know if she got it for there. She also bought an MT-03, bought it locally, but had to haggle the price. Well, as Chris said, you're £600 to £1,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Superbike, mate. It wasn't.
No.
Well, I got the Z's up here. Anybody's looked at the Z's up. The Z1000s up here were like £3.5, £4 grand, and I got mine for 2.6 from down south. I actually forget where I got it from. I got mine for 2.6, and it had only done 19,000 miles on it. So it did. So there's a grand cheaper straight away. Just down south. Yep. I'll be waiting an extra week, but I'll gladly wait an extra week to save £1,000.
I get mine £700 cheaper. So,
I mean, I suppose the only downside is you're not physically there seeing it and sitting on it. You're taking a wee bit of a risk, aren't you, by getting it shipped up?
Aye. But I've done this I've done it with my Daytona 955. I've done it with the Z. I've done it with the Blade. I've done it with the ZX6R. And I make sure they give you a right in-depth close-up video and pictures. I like to hear it running. I like to hear it revving. I go to town with it. You end up, you get a gut feeling when you see a bike.
Yep. Aye.
So, and I've never been let down. Touch wood. I've never been let down.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah. Good bikes.
Carol just brought up she said she got a bike for Berkshire. There you go.
Yeah.
She bought a Duke 125, and it was all based on pictures and emailing a guy.
Mhm.
and it come up and it come out a pure professional transporter, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
Aye.
I think
And-
that as long as you research the company, make sure that you're getting. I wanted closer. I wanted it 2 inches away from the tank. I want to see every spec it.
Mhm.
And videos, and make sure it's in depth videos. Make sure they show you the service book, you name it. And see, as long as you do that, 9 times out of 10, you just go with your gut. If it looks
Aye.
what you think it looks, and they say it is, go with your gut. If you maybe
Aye.
think, oh, that doesn't look right, just don't touch it. That's my
As-
advice. So say I've
As
got
Carol
5.
says, but you've got the distance selling, so you do have 14 days.
Yes.
So you can return it if it's a pile of shit. Well, you think. But then, who is it? Dunk makes a good point. You can't see inside an engine. That's a valid point.
Right,
Yeah.
I get that you can't see inside an engine, but how many times have you went into a dealership and then popped the tank up to look inside an engine?
No. No chance.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
get that, but there's ways and means, pictures and videos, close-ups and stuff.
But you hear a folk. I mean, I've heard disasters. You know, brand new bikes, maybe 1,000 mile and engine blows up. You know, or maybe a blocked pipe and it's starvation of oil or something.
Yeah.
You know, and the
always
engine blows.
problems with anything new.
Yeah.
And pipes is just one of those things, you know. Aye. It's literally, you just go I always say just go by your gut.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then the only person to fault after that's yourself.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine how much business it would do if they did bring a dealership up here? Superbike factory or somebody like them?
As long as they kept the prices the same, that's the thing. Whereas if they come up here and then try and match the Scottish prices, then they might not get as much.
I don't know if they do that. I think, see, because they're so big down south, I think they would just ship the bikes down south up. Because
Aye,
if you're
Yeah.
up here selling a bike to them and they give you a good trade in, then they could give you a good trade in if they're in Glasgow, the same. But the bike you're buying came from Devon or something. You know, you just don't know.
There's Ted, very good. I bought a motorbike from West, got delivered. It was nothing like the picture of an Greater. Well done, mate.
Yep, definitely. You've got to love him. Never met the guy, but
Well, no, what you should do actually. Zed, are you working tomorrow? Do you want to jump on this? I'll post the link. Give us a wee answer, mate.
Bex, you don't know if they came up, my garage isn't big enough for another bike. Listen, you just build a bigger garage.
That's it.
It's as simple.
It's the only way it goes.
easier said than done, mate.
Listen, well, Kim, today you move the washing machine at the garage and you just make space.
Aye.
I would just extend the west wing.
Listen,
Just
my
put it
favourite
on them.
building 3 garages on, or 2 garages onto 1 because you now get 10 bikes. There's always a means.
That's mad.
There's a military biker has jumped on.
Oh, wow, what are you doing, mate?
How you doing, mate?
All right, Bob.
Military biker. He's a Harley man, so he is.
Yep, he has that.
Yeah, he's mad for his Harleys. That's probably one of the subjects that we've never spoke about, actually.
No. I don't know nothing about Harleys.
Well, I had a Harley, and I must admit, and I think I watched Mark was on with the military biker last week, and I actually watched a bit, and I agree with him. Harley Davidson, I actually enjoyed the Harley, but I hated the dealership, and that was my biggest issue with it. I said I only had the street rod, and when I went into do it, it was almost as if it wasn't a Harley. It just got a Harley badge. They don't class it as a Harley. It's not one of these big soft tails or the Deluxe or anything like that. So they didn't. I always felt really looked down upon when I went in there. That they were actually one of the main reasons why I actually got rid of it. I just hated going into the shop and being a part of that. So I did.
It's a weird brand, isn't it?
And their aftercare is, I hated it. Their aftercare is shocking.
So there, I've stuck up the military bikers YouTube channel. definitely anything to do with Harleys, and also he does live streams like ourselves as well. So
Need
go
to
and
get him
check
on.
it out. Yep, I think he had a live stream tonight. I'm not sure, or it might have been Burning Gas, Hauling Ass, or whatever. The other Harley channel.
He was at the Harley Davidson garage tonight to getting some oils. Skints, that's probably just cost him $1,000.
Yeah, so that's his channel there, guys. Go and check him out, and his live streams as well. He opens them up to everybody. So, but definitely, if you're into Harleys, he's your man.
Yep, definitely. Or even he has very his guests are good. Literally, he's from Liverpool, and then he's got Canadians, Americans, Zedhead, Mark, and Gas. Monk, what's his name? Something Gas Olas or something.
Aye.
There's a few Scottish folk on his thing, so he's good. He's good to watch and listen to.
Burning Gas, Hauling Ass is a stage 5 tuning a Harley. Now, if you're into Harleys, that's a Scottish guy as well. So you definitely need to check out his channel. Aye.
I'm sure we watched this last week. I'm sure he says it's sitting at 150 brake, and it just looks like a bog standard Harley, but it's got a stage 5 in it. So I think I'm sure he was trying to get up to 180 brake. He was saying last week, which is just mental for a Harley.
Well, that's the military biker said that he's got one running right now. So there you go. He's got it running. Unbelievable.
There you go.
God, mad.
A Harley.
Bonkers.
Mental. Right, I'm going for a refill. You can talk amongst yourselves. I'll be a couple of minutes.
Okey-doke.
Just don't talk about me.
I was just kidding. I was paused.
Just get through some of the comments.
There's a load of comments there. I know. So
Right, Chris, over to you, mate.
Burning Gas, he's holding a live stream now. He's if anybody's even interested in how you get a stage, I've never heard of a stage 5 until last weekend when I watched Military Biker's live stream. I only know a stage 4. So I've went and looked at. I'm sure he spent roughly about 20 grand on this bike.
Much?
About 20. I'm sure the bike cost 30 or something, and then it's 20 grand he's put onto it. So honestly, if you've got any time and that you want to go and what, he's from Falkirk, and it's just so intriguing how he put a stage 5 in a Harley and make it 100. I think he's sitting 150, and once he gets to stage 5 complete, goes up to 180 brake.
158, he was saying. Yep, 158.
But absolute bonkers, so it is. So definitely.
I just hear everything of figures and I just go, oh man, what?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I was saying this earlier on when somebody was asking about the S1000RR, and I'm just like brand new, you're like 19 grand. Like I know Tam Rutherford, he's got a Kawasaki ZX2. That's 17 grand, brand spanking new bike sitting there. I just couldn't justify spending that on a toy. Especially in our weather in Scotland, we're getting out 6-7 months max, at the very max, a year.
Yep.
Couldn't spend that on a toy.
I think when I got the CB, I got that. It was a year old. It was 10.5 grand.
Mm-hmm.
But the plans to keep that for a long time. So when the finance comes to an end, I'm saving in the background to hopefully then just pay it off in 3 years, and then it's mine. But I think it's just because of what it was, and it's old school. And I've always said, with Hondas, I always feel like they lead the way, even though sometimes some of the stuff they bring out is a bit mental.
Yeah.
But if you go way back to the first CB, and it was like the first naked, I thought anyway, that was looked kind of Transformer-like. And then they seemed to bring out more and more manufacturers would bring out bikes that kind of looked like that. And then now they're back to retro looking. And then you can see that now there's more retro looking bikes for other manufacturers coming out. So when that CB came out, I thought, well, I'm for that. But I'll have it long term. Yeah. And that's the only reason why I'm going to be spending that much on a bike. You couldn't just justify it otherwise.
No, I think you're right in what you're saying. As long as you've got the mindset, you're going to keep it. It's going to cost you 10 grand, but you're going to keep it 7 years. It's bought and paid for, and it's going to do its job. Whereas I chop and change my bikes every year and a half to 2 years, and I have done for the past, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. The Z is the longest one I've kept, but that's me had it 3 years. But I put that much into it, and I love the way it looks. And
I don't think you'll ever get rid of it.
I never will get rid of it. No, it's comfortable, it's nippy. You get the front wheel up when you want. There's nothing that doesn't do it, and cornering's tremendous. So I would get rid of the Z. But the blade, that's me. I've had the blade a year, and I was sitting thinking, oh, I'll buy the S1000R. But do you know what I mean? I'll never have that long. I'll always change. It's just the way it is. Pongster wrote that we live the right company for rat bikes, and that's probably 100% true.
Yeah. I did think with the VFR, I wasn't sure whether I was going to take it back to the way it was, or whether I was going to rip it to bits and just turn it into either a rat bike or a cafe racer style, or maybe just a street fighter type style. But I think there's that many folk doing it because it's got a single sider. There's that many folk that see a VFR as being a good street fighter style because it looks good with a single sider, or a rat bike. And I've seen, I don't know who the guy is, but there's a guy that's at Largs all the time, and he's got some old green thing that's got the tyres painted and
happy vest on the back.
Yeah, and he's had that bike for years, and it just looks the same. It looks a heap of shite, but you can tell there's a wee bit of effort went into it. Aye. I know. But you're right, Punkster. I mean, never clean it, never do anything to it. Just get a rattle can out every so often and fill a bit and just ride it. Yeah.
Well, there's a guy who has a Sportster, and he's from Dunoon. And he got the coating that protects the paintwork, and he's had the Sportster for 4 years. And that guy, the only thing he's cleaned on that Sportster is his number plate, and it looks an absolute bag of shite.
Yeah,
and it's not. The minute he cleans it, it's pristine because he's got this coating on it. So he makes it look like a rat bike. No, its own.
Yep.
But we definitely do live in a
definitely, yeah.
Oh man, Tony, the whiskey's helping, so he must be able to understand us now.
That's it. He must be getting there. Cheers, Tony.
Is any's done this ceramic coating? You hear that quite a lot now. Ceramic coating, and you don't need to do much to your bike when it's done.
Nah, never.
No.
I got offered
this. Yep.
They offer today, but you're going, how do I know if they've done it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that is often you're paying £300. I think it's about £300 to get it ceramic coated, and
then what do you do? Do you just give it a jet wash every now and again? Is that kind of?
I think so, but I don't even know. How would you know that they've done it? You're just taking their word by it, aren't you?
They say that when I was buying the MT, the guy says to me, ceramic coating for an extra whatever. And I quietly says to Branlo, and Branlo's like, leave it. He's like, you don't know if they've done it. He's like, so leave it. If you want to go and get it done, take it somewhere and see them doing it.
Aye. I do remember that it was talking about that bike. Ted wrote there. It was up at the Scottish Bike Show. It was absolutely tremendous. So it was that they had the rust airbrushed into the tank. Along with it, it is so well done. So it is, and I think, if I remember right, the tank cost the guy like £680 alone to get airbrushed for the rust. But the job they got on it is brilliant. So it's second to none, because you have to take a right close look at it to realise that it's actual paint and it's not rusted.
I'm just having a wee quick look on the Punkster site because he was going on about his rat bike, but I've not actually seen that video. He's going on about his rat. Let's see if I could find it.
Dunk.
I've never used it, but I've heard mixed reviews about the ACF50.
Aye, Dunk, we put it on as well.
Aye, I've used it.
Aye.
it does seem to help when it comes to cleaning it, and that you definitely don't get all the. Well, I've no this year. It's no matter because I've not been out because of lockdown, but I would ride through the winter, and it does make a difference, I think, to the bolts and stuff like that. All the wee nooks and crannies. It does help, I think. For me, it did. Well, I thought it did. So, don't know. Could be flinging money at nothing.
I've never used it. I actually heard that it rusted parts of people's bikes and stuff, so I always stayed away from it. I'm sure is it Gas Monkey who come on who does the cleaning, something monkey wax. I'm sure he said not to use it on one of his posts, not to use it because it was rusting parts of your frame and stuff. But I'm sure it was him.
Grant,
Yeah.
30 years using it, no problems. She rides all year round. We already know that anyway.
I bet she's done it on Grant's bike. She's done it for him, so she did.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, it's what it looks after the bikes.
I remember the first time I used ACF50 and I just sprayed the whole bike with it, and they're like, "No, you don't put it on the brakes. Don't put it on the brakes." And I was like, "Oh, fuck." I just sprayed it on everything, and then that was it. I just left it for the winter. But anyway.
Military bikers got to shoot. Thanks for jumping in, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. I'll
See you
check
soon,
out your
mate.
page, buddy.
See you later.
Well, there's the Pulsar. He does wash his speed triple, and the wife got him a bike dryer, which helps. I've also got I got this for Scotland. Scotland bought a leaf blower to dry his bike, and I actually bought one. And what a difference it makes!
Yeah.
Aye. So it does. I'd use my leaf once I dry it. Once I wash it all, I let the rest of it drip off, and then chuck it up on the paddock stand and hit the leaf blower into it. And
see, that's the worry, isn't it? Because if you've got it, if you've been out in a day and it comes back and it's bogging, and you wash it all down, the last thing you want to do, I've always been like that. Well, I'm going to stick it in the guys. It's just going to sit there, and there'll be water and a lot of the nooks and crannies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to, it's going to corrode, isn't it? But I never thought of using a leaf blower. Yeah.
Well, definitely cause you issues in the winter. If there's water sitting in it, as you say, you run it and just leave it sitting.
Because you're doing a good job, you're cleaning it and then chucking it.
Well, aye, that's it, aye.
I got that from Scotland. That was his idea, so I bought one. And once I leave it outside for half an hour and let it drip, chuck it in the garage and then hit the leaf blower and see no matter what it's lying in it, you'll never realise. It's in your fairings. So I've got also the big belly pan, Grant. You've got the belly pan. So it sits in there. So it actually sits at the light. See the nose cone at the light. Actually really bad for sitting in there.
Yeah.
Polestar, mine's isn't heated iron, mate. I'm the same boat.
No.
I've always wondered what it would cost to heat the garage. I've heard some folks say it doesn't cost that much, in the grand scheme of things, if you've just got it sitting at a steady temp. But I don't know. I don't know how expensive it is.
Wee T-bar heaters. It's like wee bar heater. Aye, a lot of people swear by them. They just keep the garage at that temperature. That you know what I mean.
I'll tell you what. I'd watched a video. It was when England went into lockdown for the second time, and it was I don't know if you've heard the Bandit Man UK.
No.
And what he does is I think he's got an MT10 and his wife's got has she got a triple? Can't remember what she's got. But what they done and they put it in this balloon thing, and it kind of blows it up, and basically the bikes sit in this balloon. And there's like a constant generator that just keeps the air flowing inside it. And that's basically what they do for the winter, just to keep the bikes in there.
A climate tent kind of thing.
What's that?
A climate tent, isn't it?
Aye, a bit like that. Aye, something like that.
My garage is I've got an electronic garage door in mine, so when it comes down, a wee rubber bit at the bottom. The amount of
Spot
cold,
on, Zed.
the amount of cold air that comes in. So we've got a heater in our garage, but it's almost pointless having it on because you feel no effect because the cold air's still coming through the garage door. So I didn't think so. I just turned it off. It makes no difference, I don't think. Only time I've ever got it on if I'm in working in the garage on the bike, which is every other day.
Stevie said about the dog dryer thing. I know a lot of people. Well, I've watched a lot of videos where people will buy them for drying their bikes. The hair dryer that they use in grooming. That's what they use for all the ends.
Well, I like grooming.
Grannies. Oh no, he's touched the subject. No, we're not going
Stephen,
there.
he said that. See, as soon as he said that, he just had a wee suck of that pipe there as he said it.
Oh man, that's us. That's going to be my first strike in my channel.
£24 I got my leaf blowers for, so I did. Brilliant.
Right? £24.
I'll send you the link.
Aye, send me the link. Aye, definitely.
You know, it's got to be cheaper because a guy I follow him. Well, I did follow him, Missington Flyer. He's got a fancy dryer thing, but I bet you costs like £200 or something.
Yeah.
The one I've got.
He's mega bucks now. He's got tons of money.
Aye.
But it's perfect because it gets right into the belly pan. It's in the back of your face. Not this size, but the power that comes off it is brilliant.
That's an idea, mate.
I'll send you and so you can have a wee look yourself.
Yeah.
If you send me the link, mate, I'll put it once this video goes. Obviously, we finished it goes onto YouTube. I'll put it in the description.
Gordon, does a hairdryer work? I'd imagine it did, aye. But you've got no hair, so why have you got a hairdryer? Just another one. Just a question I'm putting out there. Bex, she's got the boiler guy. It seems to help.
Yeah. Same as me. I get the boiler in the garage. It does help a wee bit, and even having your tumble dryer in the garage helps a bit as well.
I've got that. I find that I get a lot of condensation with my tumble dryer, so I do. I maybe just need to get it vented.
Is your garage at the side of the house, or is it detached, or how's your garage?
So it's all interlock, so
right,
where I'm in my house.
Aye, I'm the same, yeah.
Right, but I maybe I just need to move my boiler then.
I never stuck in at school. We've just got a shed.
What's that going to do with it? Is this you discriminating again?
Hey, I put an extension of my house just so I buy it. So I can have my bikes. It's the only reason I've done the extension. Then he dries his and then takes it out for another run. So again.
I don't think he worries about that, to be honest.
It's great in the summer though, because seeing the height of summer, I don't know about you, but I don't wash it that much.
Nah, I don't touch it much at all, to be honest. In the summer. Nah.
Definitely not.
I think when we went to Fort William, I had only washed my bike maybe a month ago, and that's the first because the blade ran out an MOT. So I never touched it. It sat there until a month ago, and I looked at it, and the flies on it were started to mould. And that's the only reason I washed the blade.
Yeah, I actually think see the video I done when I was adjusting the suspension. Just when you said that, and the bike was just, it was full of flies, and I'm sure that was for the Fort William trip. I'm sure it was still. Aye.
What did it say? There's a hairdryer. What did Tanya say? Yours is too difficult. It's blowing all off your hair.
Vlogster, what's the summer? Exactly.
Get a leaf blower, hopefully. The hairdryer.
Aye, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Just get the bugs off the front on the summer. Aye, that's exactly it. I rarely touch it, apart from cleaning down the headlight side of it. That's about it.
I've always had it in me just to clean it when I get it back in the day. If it's not late at night, like 10, 11 at night, then 9 times out of 10 I'll just hit it with a hose, and then job's a good one.
Yeah.
Said Ted Summer in Scotland. What day was that? It's normally a Friday, mate, when nanes can get out.
That was our day in Fort William.
Aye, definitely. Fort William was a great day. Me and Mark got a good day up in Inverary. We got a good day at
We were
Glencoe.
lucky, mate. Glencoe
Aye,
was.
what was the name of that place you went to? Is it after Glencoe? You went right. Oh,
Kinloch leaving.
yeah,
Aye,
Kinloch
that was it.
leaving. Aye, that's what it was. Aye.
Petrol garage, come to the set of traffic lights, turn the right, straight road.
Yep.
Kinloch. They do like bunkers, sorry, glamping pods. So if you're ever heading up that way and want to stop off, great deal in there, and then following day shoot up to wherever you're going.
Yeah, aye, good.
Glencoe was good. Inverary was roasting, wasn't it? That was a warm day.
That's from the MT07 kid wears. No, aye, the MT07 kid.
Aye.
Yep.
Pulling wheelies everywhere.
Aye.
That was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
We nearly lost it. We nearly lost it at the roadworks. We nearly didn't the night because he's popped the wheelie.
Jeez. Nightmare.
Aye, he's nuts, man. He's nuts.
Aye. What's your thoughts on? See, obviously going forward in the next few years, what's your thoughts on electric bikes? Because it's like cars, innit? They're coming in more and more. There's more and more of them, kind of like appearing and stuff like that.
Well, I've only ever seen one in person, and me, Scott, Nav, and Dirk Visor. We were at Soul Tire Scotland in Edinburgh, and they had a barbecue and that on. We were waiting in the rolls, and this guy was sitting chatting to this guy, and then this bike just went flying by us, and what the?
No noise.
Turned on. And the guy's, that's an electric bike, blah, and it's got like 145 newton meters of torque, and it's got this. And we're just looking at him like, what? You having a laugh? And it's like, no, open that throttle and that thing is off. Personally, I'm not a fan. Yeah, but you're right, it's creeping in. Cars creeping in, bikes, it's creeping in.
Well, I've got stuff. On you go, mate. Sorry, Grant.
I'm sorry, I've watched a few reviews, missing the flyer included, the electric bike. And, you know, you can't get away from it. See the torque off them.
That's aye.
They're flying machines. But it's a factor. I don't know. How's it going to be getting used to having no clutch, no gears?
No noise.
You're just twisting that and
you're restricted as well by range, aren't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You can't just go into a petrol station and fill up. You've got to go in and find somebody to plug in and wait an hour, or whatever.
Well, my father-in-law, he's Moto Guzzi, California, and it's a twist and go. It's a big automatic, so it is still a petrol bike. But I always say to him, "How does it feel?" And he goes, "There's no difference other than you don't have a clutch." He says, "You just always think you're in first gear, and then after you twist that throttle, it just automatically goes. And same when you just slow down, you're just standing there." He says, "The only difference is you just don't have the clutch." He says, "It doesn't actually. It's not a great factor in it because he's got the California, as I say."
Yeah.
I know this is a bit taboo, but it's the same as my pal in work got one of them big Jag XFs, a big 3 litre, and he says to me, "You want to take it a run? You want a shot?" And I went, "Aye," and it was an automatic. Nightmare. And I'm like, where's the fun? Where's the fun in it? I'm not changing gear.
Because you've not got the control, have you? You're not controlling it. Aye. You're
putting that foot down, and everything's doing everything. And I'm like, is it going to take the whole feeling off a bike? You know, getting up and doing the gears, getting into gear for the right corner.
But then you've also got you don't use it if you've got a quick shifter. You don't use a clutch with quick shifters. So
I've not had that feeling yet.
I don't use my clutch after I come out first gear. I go into first gear my clutch and then I never ever use my clutch after that.
Yeah.
I don't have a quick shifter. But that's just you're able to change gears without using your clutch.
Get into the way of it. You just know your bike, don't you? You know how to up it. Yeah.
And then
your gear selector breaks.
But I've got a stick car, but my wife's she's got an automatic, and I actually love it. I understand the fun, but see if you're putting the foot to the floor, it revs the life out it until it goes to max, and then it changes gear. Still get that wee bit of fun there, so you do. But you're right, it's not as hang as using a stick. But it's it might. I don't, they've got quick shifters and blippers, so 9 times out of 10, like the Aprilias and I think the MT10 SP's got a blipper as well on it, and never mind the quick shifter.
My CB's got a blipper, and it's just getting used to it, you know, and it's great getting down the gears. It's brilliant getting down the gears.
There you go.
But do you not think the electric bikes are going to miss that? Even like using a quick shifter, you know, you're only just twisting a throttle coming off and twisting, and
maybe
you're not hearing any. No, like when you hear a bike.
That's
you know
what Bex was saying. You know, it's like you don't get the noise, you don't get that. You know, you don't get that drone, and whether you love twins or whether you love inline fours or V4s or triples, whatever, you don't get that noise. All you get is like, well, I would think it's just a whir or something.
So it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole new world, isn't it? It's going to, I don't know.
It's going to come and take over at some point, I would imagine.
Yeah. I've got a surprise for you for somebody that knows nothing about Harleys, but I kind of looked at a lot of these videos, and Zero seems to be leading the way in terms of electric bikes. But see, the bike that I watched a couple of videos on is the Harley Livewire.
Oh yeah,
The bike I'd pick.
That's
believe that?
passes. Aye.
I would pick that bike.
Yeah. Was it 35 grand or something?
Aye, it's horrendous.
Something like that, isn't it? It's not. But they've went all out on that bike.
Aye,
definitely. Yeah.
That'd be the one I'd pick.
And have you seen the adventure bike that they're bringing out?
Aye.
Based on long way down, up, roundabout, whatever one it was. Aye.
I reckon surely they're not going to sell much of it.
Do you see any of you guys going electric in the future?
Car, aye. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old Scenic, and I think I'll have that for maybe another 3 years, and then my next car will probably be electric. I think about 3-4 years time. But as far as bikes go, I can't see it. I think bikes they're a toy. They're for fun. It's like I want to stick an exhaust on and have a nice wee rip off it. You know, I want to feel that and feel the vibrations and shit. I don't want to just be able to not even switch it on. Just go on the bloody thing and turn the throttle. No, I don't get that.
My biggest for it is, could you imagine filtering in an electric bike?
No, that's a worry, isn't it? It's like, at least if it's loud, you know that folk can maybe there's less chance of you getting, knocked off, I suppose, isn't there? If you're noisy.
That's my bike. My bike's thing. I do a lot of filtering come through the tunnel or the M8 Kingston Bridge and stuff. I do a lot of filtering. I just couldn't imagine jumping on an electric bike and trying to filter through with an electric bike.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I got my exhaust, Chris, you said my MG sounded like an electric bike?
Oh, that's actually about that visor, but it has 650S. So, like, I read Tech Smart today. I was actually watching a load of old videos that I had done and Mark had done, and that visor's in it with 650F. And you hear me pull away, and then he goes by Mark, and you hear nothing.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Quiet. A slight engine noise, and I'm just like, I just couldn't do it.
Soon I'll get a Black Widow. See, I don't do a lot of filtering because my work's not far from my boots, but see when I do it and you're just blapping and people can't say they don't hear you. I would miss that.
You see them in their mirrors and they're looking for you because you can hear you. Aye. We're doing a lot of filtering. An electric bike just wouldn't be for me.
See, for me, when I done, well, I've not been there for how many months now? 4 months. But see, the ambulance service thing, see, when I turned up on shift and I had a Series 2, you had the Range Rover, and then you had an i3, which is all electric. It had a wee backup motor, but the new ones don't. And I picked the i3 every single time because pulling away, power, torque, everything else on it was... And the wheels are like that thin. and I always picked that. So in terms of cars, I think I could move into it quite easily, but I don't think I would want to do it with a bike.
Even sitting at traffic lights, I think we're all the same. If we're sitting there and we're waiting on the lights changing, and we'll do the odd, regardless of what the bike is, you wouldn't get that with electric.
You'd be away down the road, you'd be like,
that's what you would be. You'd in the back of somebody.
5 seconds of spectacular wheelie and then white.
petrol bike comes up beside you, fucking revs, and you go like that, and you're just like, you're away.
And the bike's off.
That's it. And then you're like, Gordon, you're right, Gordon, come on, I'll help you up, mate.
Can't hear the bike, just you screaming.
The actual size of the electric bikes are like that, they're so small, and you're used to like bikes like this. Like my Z tank's so wide, but then you come to this wee electric bike that size.
Yeah, it's mad.
But I think you're right, they're creeping in, and it will be a matter of time.
As Carol says to me, she's like, you're dug in your ways, you don't like change.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I'm 50, right, and it's not going to happen in my lifetime. I mean, I'll get the choice. My choice will always be combustion, but I think the next generation they're probably going to look back and go, that I wish we were back in that era, in that time. I think it's just the way it's going to go.
Aye. Mind my dad ran his bike on dinosaur bones.
Well, the good thing is
you had to put shit in it to make it go.
You're always going to have access to a petrol bike. So even if it did come in, it became this or that law and all the rest of it, you're always going to have what's been previous. So
it's like 2-strokes and leaded cars in it when you used to get the kind of leaded, stuff for it, and the 2-stroke they're still kicking about.
There's Zed away.
Is it? Oh, see you later, mate.
See you later, mate.
See you later.
Take care, buddy.
Just was going to be
Pongster said, I mean, I don't know how they're going to deal with infrastructure. It's okay saying everybody that's got a house and they've got a drive, and I can see the fact that you could get like a plug-in stuff, but if you look at Glasgow, you look at the tenement flats and the amount of cars that are all parked up and down the streets. How do you charge them? It's
well, you couldn't, mate, because the cannabis factories wouldn't work. Well, can it be done?
There's actually somebody in my
take another Lecky.
actually somebody in my street that's got an electric car, and she must have a 10-meter cable for her car that runs right into the back of our house, and it's like I've seen Wayne's just for the sake of it going up and pulling it out overnight, and then she's sitting there in the morning with no charge in her car.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Carol's missing you, Grant.
That's a that's 2-strokes.
I'm sure you feel the same, Grant.
Oh, geez.
Oh, Jesus, I need to stop doing that. Don't put me in control of this the next time.
I love fighting on the channel.
Oh,
mad.
Red straw. They all wish they were riding a Z1000 in the future. Right on, bro. Yes, mate. But it has to be orange because the green ones are slow as fuck.
I'll just go with a Z9, mate, because I can't fit on a Z1000.
The Z9s are for fucking people that get fanny flaps.
See the Z9, that's a new bike, isn't it?
Never.
Sorry, Mark, what was that?
it's Lockwood. What was it?
Is the Z9 a new bike?
No. No.
Because before...
Right.
Right.
And as far as I know, they discontinued the Z800 and a lower one and brought out the Z900. If I'm remembering right, I can't.
So I wasn't sure if it was the Z600 or the Z650 or something in the Thou.
Yeah, they've got a Z125, we've got the Z300, we've got the Z650, the Z750, the Z800, Z900, and the Z2.
I think they've done away with the 800. Or was
No,
it 750 to bring the 900 in?
No, they've done away with the 750 now. So
750, aye.
There can't be much in it between the 900 and the 1000, surely. I mean, I don't really see.
According to Chris, it's just flaps.
Nah, it's just what you've got between your legs. That's if you look at it, nuts on you.
Aye, flaps.
There's not much between them. If you're going to buy a Z900, why not buy a 1000?
Do you know what? I'm trying to be nice and saying if I was to upgrade my bike from a 7 to a 9, I'd go for a Z9. And then I still get it. Do you know, and it's a form of bullying and intimidation. I will be phoning the helpline at the end of this video.
So Grant, it's manipulation then. So you're being manipulated into a Z.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Aye.
Yeah.
Don't go there, mate. Don't go there.
If you're going to get the 9, you get the Z900 RS Cafe Racer. Then I'll leave you alone and let you be.
Nah.
That is a nice bike.
It's a lovely bike.
Yeah.
That
Really
is
get it in green.
My pal down in England, he bought the Z9 on it, but he got the retro one and he's put the nose cone on it to make it look. And it's jet black and it looks good.
Yeah.
But I like it, the straight, just the Z9. Just think it's a nicer bike than the MT-09.
There's another Davy Walker on our page, and he's just bought a Z1000. He get rid of his ZX9R.
I've seen that, aye.
He's now got a jet black Z1000, and he was actually on a Mavic the other night. They're picking up exhaust, and he can't believe how he's never had one before. The amount of bikes that guy's had.
So he only got the Ninja. Was it July, August time, wasn't it?
Aye, that's right. Aye.
Because he had the CBR 600, and then he got the Ninja.
Yeah.
And he loved the Ninja because he wanted to go back to a car bike, and then I couldn't believe he'd got a Z2, but I see he likes it.
So we went a run to St Mary's Lock with him, me and Scott and a bunch of other. I think there was like 16 of us that day, and he had to stop at Straven the way back. It was just killing him. So it was. I really loved it. It was just killing him. Then he got somebody offered him a good deal, and he went right, okay, and come for it. And then he was chatting back and forth to me for a good week and a half, 2 weeks. Sent me a few Zeds over, and I was like, aye, that blah blah blah. That felt good, not good. And then he got an absolute bargain through in Livingston like 2 weeks ago. What do you think of this? Had a look over, and you can't refuse that. I said, for what you're getting for the price, snap it up. I ended up messaging a boy I know who's Z daft. I think they've got 6 Zs between him and his dad. And I messaged him, said, listen, if this boy doesn't take it, this is up for sale, and this is some bite for the price. And he's like that. If he doesn't take it, I'm going to go buy it. And he's and David texts me and says, no, I'm on my way to Livingston, I'm just going to go and get it.
It's a lovely looking bike.
Sorry, Grant?
Sorry, what's the seat height on a Z1000?
I think it's 810.
810.
Next time I'm out, by all means, jump on it, mate. They're heavy. The Gen 1s are very heavy because they lean over so far. The lean angle on the side stand is just madness why they lean so far over. Because
it's a nightmare.
Well, I actually taken it to a guy I don't normally take it to for an MOT, and he nearly failed it because he thought the side stand was bent, and I'm like, no, that's how they sit.
Aye.
And I actually went away and looked at them and googled them and checked the lean angle and then get his degree angle out and checked it and you're right. I says, well, I know.
So I sat on my mate's Z900, the retro one, you know, and the seat height was all right, but see, because of the width of the bike,
and try to lift it off the side stand.
Aye, very nervous, and I thought, you know what, I couldn't get my tiptoes down secure on it, and I was like, nah. But the Z900 I sat on and ran through it, I could tiptoe it both sides, and I went, aye, you know.
Now you can handle it.
Oh,
Carol's just done showing me notes.
The Vlogster was saying there that speed triples are good for short legs. You had a look at speed triples, Grant?
Oh, God, mate. Robert, I like the bikes. I can't stand the headlights.
Do you know
the twins?
Aye. Oh, God, they're a nice bike until they come to the forks. And no disrespect to anybody that rides a triple because they're great bikes. I don't like them. I know it's stupid. I don't.
Yeah.
My pal's got one. He's going to kill me when he sees this. He's going to kill me because he's a fucking big guy.
Because you get the old style. The old style triples had just the normal round headlights on it, and then they kind of changed it to kind of more kind of oval or something like that, didn't they?
They can stick out like that far, you know. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of boys will compare them to a single headlight.
Yeah.
Which I could go with that. But
I had a wee sit on one. I had a wee sit on a. It was in the summer there. It was one of the chippy runs. I had a wee sit on a speed triple, and it was only about 3-year old or something like that. And I still had the SV at the time, and the SV, the headlight was really short. It had a wee dash, and then I sat on the speed triple, and it was. I just felt like the dash and the headlight was like. It just felt like it was way out. I didn't like it. You know, I just wasn't keen on it.
It's very out and down.
Aye, it's like yeah.
And I
it's like they don't know its design on it, right? And they're like, sculpt this, look at that lovely frame. And then it's like some guy get really drunk at Triumph and went into the parts department and come out with this massive headlight and went, fucking stick this on in front, this will be awesome. And there wasn't one person brave enough to go, no, mate.
Because they were all pissed.
Robert, you'll know, but having the sit-up bike and you're trying to pin it along, the wind hits you, you need some sort of screen there, even if it's the smallest of screen, it's still going to help with the wind. So it is, whereas I always find that that's so low, you're just going to get smacked constant with wind.
Yeah.
I think I can tuck down with the Z as much as I can. I think with that you're just exposed to the element all the time.
Aye.
It's kind of swings and roundabouts because I found like with the VFRs in the past, I'd always get after maybe half an hour, my left hand would start, and especially my pinky would go numb. You know, and it was just the angle that I was at. Aye. You know, and even though if I was sitting on a motorway at 70 mile, 80 mile an hour, I'd sit there all day because it was so comfy. You know, the wind would just go over me. But I would have this numbness, and I'd always be trying to change my angle and stuff to kind of fix it. Whereas on the city up bike, I don't get that. But you're right. It's like when you're hitting the elements all the time, you get tired.
Oh, you get so.
When you do, and I think with the twisties, you're always trying to lean forward and kind of lean in and stuff like that. But you'll find with a 954 that you're fine with that because you're just sitting in and you're twisting about. But with the Z, it's tiring after a while.
100%. Because I'm always you're fighting with your neck constant all the time. That's why.
Aye. Yeah, when you're going at speed, aye.
When we've banged up the motorway, then I'll just lean right down and put my chin right on the tank and then just zoom up the motorway because sitting up on it is just not comfortable. My neck's so sore all the time.
Yep. Aye, definitely.
Well, that's us been 2 hours 8 minutes, so I'll do a 10-minute warning, then that gives anybody a chance to ask any questions that they want to ask.
Well, I Beck's, her 17-year-old son's got a Grom and it's loud, so he's lucky he's got the chance before electric kicks in.
That's it. Hopefully, Beck's the longest that he can sit on a combustion bike, and the fact that he's like 17, he'll obviously go into bigger bikes and he's going to just be that. And in the near future, I think he's going to be going on to combustion bikes and he'll just work his way up to that. But who knows when he's 30? Who knows? He might not be able to get a combustion bike after that.
Aye.
Did you get that comment?
I'm 27.
Okay, Gordon's not the tall. I'm not the tallest, but Zed's in that. I'm actually pretty comfortable. Most bikes are set for your bigger adventure, like your GSs or your African Twins. That's when I start finding it a bit more difficult.
Did you see the video? One of I think it was the last one, chasing the sunset on the way back from Fort William. Did you see Curtis on his 600?
No.
And his legs were like. I think he's shorter than he's got a short leg, but he was still managing the 600.
He's got the 600RR, the baby.
Aye.
Now.
Aye.
Well, I said I knew I could start on the MT because I sort of done my lessons on. And when I went to Renfrew, and the guy let me sit on the Z900, and he held the bike up, and I got on it, and tiptoes down, exactly the same as the MT. So I was like, right, I know if I want to progress up,
You can.
I can go to a 900. Because I honestly don't think I'd need anything above a 900 if I was going to.
Grant, do you know shift your weight and flat fit on one side?
So, at traffic lights and stuff, there's certain, sorry, certain times, you know, like sometimes you get like kind of a dodgy surface, and you know what, I'd like to get both feet doing just to, you know, but usually I'll favour the safety position that you get taught in your lessons. I usually sit in safety position.
Or you move the bike, you get a wee slide, you know, your foot slides away, and you know, and you've got to try and catch it, you know, and I think, it's scary, isn't it?
I was just getting there, Grant. 820 mil. I said 810, so it's 820. And
I think that's 820 is just a ball hair outside my comfort zone.
On you go, Chris.
The 820 is.
Welcome back, Rock Rider.
Especially with the Z, it's a heavy bike.
Right, so that's the other variable that comes into it, the weight of the bike.
It's a very heavy bike, especially when you're going.
G-Man, see you later, mate.
And it's side stand to bring up. Grant, see you later, mate.
Another thing as well that I've heard is if the width of the seat makes a big difference. You know,
it does. AMT sculpts in quite well. Not as well as his Eds. His Eds seem to sculpt in really good for shorter riders. But it's just with your height, no matter how strong you are upwards, you've got your height against the weight of the bike. So you've got to do a judgment call on it. There's no point in me buying a bike. 1000cc fire snorter.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, if you like the MT-07, then why change it?
I know, mate. I'm quite happy with it.
Aye.
I honestly can't see changing it.
Yeah.
Not for the next couple of years, anyway.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's got cracking grunt. All right, runs out top end. But I mean, where can you rat your arse off your bike except for track day? You know what I mean? So it does everything I need it today, so I'm quite happy with it, mate.
What's your thoughts on a track day? Because I mean, my bike, right? My CB 1000R, my pride and joy, and
it's nice, mate.
I don't know if I could. I'd love to do a track day, but I'm fear I might drop it, and that's my worry, right? You know, it's. I'd love to do it. I'd love to see what I can and see what I'm capable of as well as what the bike's capable of. I'm just a bit fear that I might drop it.
Aye, I've got a few pals there on the local bike dealer down here, Haldane's in Greenock, right. And they've got out like TZRs and stuff, 2-strokes, and they do the track days at Knockhill, and it looks great fun, mate. But I'm the same as you. See if I could, I don't know, maybe buy a second bike to do a track day. I don't think the same as you with your CB 1000. I don't think I'd be happy taking my MT-07 on the track.
Yeah.
Well, you've now got the VFR, so if you ever wanted to, once it's up and running, you ever wanted to do a track day, I'm the same. I would take my blade on a track before I take the Z on the track.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, you've got all these, like, I know he's shutting down now, but you know, Ron Haslam's school of riding, you could have went and jumped on one of his, it's the Honda 650F, David's bike, and you hit around the track with that. So you can, there's plenty of other biking schools out there that use their bikes.
It'd be good to do it on a different bike, you know what I mean? I know Gordon's done it. He's done it on his 5-blade, hasn't he? And Grant as well. They did a track day.
Get the TT600. His Triumph TT600, and that's what he takes on the track. I'm the same. I would rather take the blade than the Z. I know where you're coming from with that, but I would love to put the Z on the track. But I'm the same. a wee bit of water, a wee bit of oil off of somebody else's bike, and then you end up putting it in a hedge. It's like I'd be reduced to tears.
Yeah.
By
Well, but you could do a track day and it would be booked for just the basic bikers.
We can hire out a track.
I think
there was talk about that.
I think that would be a good idea.
I want to say it's £800 you book the track out. I could be wrong. I want to say it's about £800 you can book the not kill out for. We had a brief discussion. It never really went any further than a brief discussion about hiring the track out and then getting boys up. See, at the end of the day, then you can limit who you bring. You can bring as many people as you want. You can bring 20 people. You can bring 10 people, and then you can bring different experienced riders, novice, blah blah blah, and you know that people are going to be comfortable going around it. But there was talk of it. We'll take it live. If it's something that there's going to be a lot of interest in.
I think that's a good idea, maybe, to put out there and see what people think.
Aye. At the end of the day, everybody contributes something until we can get it paid off, and then it's definitely.
It's a bloody admin nightmare. See, just getting kind of money off of people and just to try and organise it and get it all set up. It's just it can be, can't it? It can turn into a bit of.
Aye, well, I've put up 3 times now about doing raffles. And the first time it went down a storm, the second time was all right, and the third time it just kind of went lead balloon. Then again, COVID's not helping, people losing their jobs now, people's getting reduced hours.
Yeah.
And we've always put it off, and we're like, will we do it? Won't we do it? And it's like, we'd love to do it, and we'd love to give somebody X amount for them to go and get what they need or get what they've wanted but never had the money there.
Yeah.
We've always put it off, and we actually had a discussion a couple of days ago, me and Matt, about getting a raffle up, even if it's a case of doing it through the lottery numbers and just saying like 59 people, a fiver each, and then the winner gets £300, or the winner gets a £300 voucher, and it's kind of like, do we do it? Don't we do it? How much are paying ass will it be? How many people would engage with you?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's a thing. I'm trying to think. It's something performance, something. They raffle bikes off all the time.
Yeah. There's loads of them, but see if you've got to do it every day. They do it like every 2 days. I think it's the same as elite performance. They do it. I think there's about 4 or 5. They're Scottish. The giveaway guys, they're Scottish. They're a paid giveaway.
Well, I don't know. They're Scottish.
Aye, they're
I've been trying to win a Codsworth for a year.
So, see if you've got, like, I'm sure they've got like 20,000 people on their page. So they're selling S1000RR, there's Audi TT, S3s. They're massive, but that's their daily job. So
that's a whole business team.
Yes. So they're buying a 10 grand bike and making 15 grand on it. So they've got 5 grand sitting there, and then they go out and buy 2 second-hand bikes at 5 grand, and they make 10 grand on it. They're constantly making money. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant to do something like that and help people out, or just gain. I've always said, if I won a bike that I wasn't particularly bored about, and it was maybe worth 10 grand, I'd sell it for 3. If I knew somebody else if it cost me a fiver for a ticket, if I made 3 grand off it and somebody else was getting a 10 grand bike and I really appreciate it, that would not bother me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, there was a guy, I can't remember the name of the raffle place, and he won an S1000RR and he never even had the bike license. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Sick of it.
So we ended up trading in and buying a car. It's just like, fair enough, like that's helped him out. But it's like somebody could have won that really, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think my dream bike's an RC30, right? A VFR RC30 for the 80s, and to get one now with maybe 15, 20, 30,000 mile on the clock, you're talking 35, 40 grand. And these folk are telling, the folk that have got them and ride them say they're like nothing else, because they won world British Superbike, you know, back in the 80s.
Aye.
And maybe the engine is similar to what just a typical VFR 750 would be, but the handling and the weight and stuff and what they've done, what they've done to it to do British Superbike, World Superbike, how light they made it, you know, and what they've done to it to make it win is what they put into a production bike. And I think Honda only done it for a few years in the 80s. These bikes now just sell for stupid money. And when you see these guys that go on and they'll do their £5 bonus ball, you know, and they'll win the bike, and you're right, they've not got a license, or all they'll do is sell that on, you know, and I'd love to do something like that, you know.
For us, it would be really small kind of start, and it depended on the engagement. The idea that I was having was to make a nice round number, and the bonus ball, when it's sold out, the next bonus ball to that, and would be £10 a ticket, £500. But we were going to do it as a voucher, J&S, we were going to do it as Paul Hamilton, we were going to do this, we were going to do that, but then decided, well, why don't we just make it a cash transfer? And then you can buy what you want. But it's whether we get 59 people doing it, or do we start smaller than that, and as Chris said, do a £5. Because
I think it's a gamble, isn't it? Because if you've got say you've got like a leather set, you know, you've got a nice jacket and trousers, it's worth £800, and you put it out there for folk to spend or whatever it is, you've got to guarantee that you get that money back, haven't you? You know, when you do it.
What you do is the raffle doesn't happen. Nobody pays nothing until the 59 numbers are sold.
Right.
Then the payments are made, and then the next lottery draw, you would do it on the bonus ball, so that nobody can ever say, well, you've done a video, a live video, or nobody can say anything that you're trying to push it.
Yeah.
Or you're at it, and just do it based on a bonus ball. But it's whether is £10 too much? Does it need to be £5? Does it need to be £3? Does it? That's the question.
It's hard one, isn't it? I mean, I've seen bikes that are like, say, the RC30, which is 30 odd grand, and it's a £10 a ticket. And I've seen other ones where it's maybe an RD250 and it's £5 a ticket. You know, it's a hard one if you're doing. Depends what you're doing, I suppose. If you're doing a helmet or you're doing.
We're only want to do it for gear, really. If you want a camera, if you want a helmet, but instead we went through this idea. Well, we'll specify it's going to be a helmet. It's going to be this, going to be that, and that's how much the ticket is. Set of leathers or whatever. But we think that kind of pulls people into, well, I don't need a helmet.
I've got 6 helmets. Need another one.
I'm not going to do that. So if we start it off as a cash thing and then try and get some feedback about what people are looking at, but we'd be a long way off of bikes, because that's just a minefield. If you do a bike, there's so much. You could give somebody a bike, and as people have commented tonight, you don't know what's the background of that bike. We can do our best to check it, but somebody could still win a bike in a month's time. The gearbox could go.
Aye, that's it.
And then we're totally fucked. Aye, we're done in after that. So we're thinking, if we do place it around gear, but would you want to be like, it's going to be this helmet, it's going to be that helmet, it's going to be a shoey helmet or whatever showy helmet, and it needs to be Alpine Stars gear, or would you not rather have the cash?
I would think just a voucher would be best, and then people just spend what they spend.
Aye, that's fair as well. Aye, I mean, if somebody just wants to have like a nice £100 voucher to go to Hamilton's or go wherever, and just, I think that's a good deal as well. Aye, definitely.
I think voucher's the best bet.
I would say so. It's something we need to look at, and you never know if what's happening around the corner with this scenario that we're in. So trying to keep people engaged is hard. So
aye, it definitely is, especially on Facebook.
Getting out.
Back to the track days. Dunk was saying.
You're breaking up a wee bit there, Grant. You'll need to repeat that, mate.
Say it again, Grant.
Me, sorry.
Aye.
All right, no, I'm saying, do you not think people are kind of retreating more into themselves now? There's not as much interaction, even on like Facebook and stuff.
Aye.
I think it's just a mindset of people just now with what's going on, like you say.
Everybody's staying in the house, and I think they're just stepping back for everything. Simple.
You kind of see that on the Basic Bikers Facebook page as well, because in the summer, I don't know if it's probably just the winter, but in the summer, that honestly, the Facebook page was like mega hot. Everybody was commenting. They were out for runs, even on their own. They were out for runs. They were putting all these pictures on, and then everybody was commenting. And then you don't really see. But now you'll get the odd comment, you'll get the odd post, but there's not as much interaction as there was like in the summer.
Aye.
But I don't know if that's just down to the fact that we're into the winter and folk are like switched off.
I think it'll be both. I think winter will be a massive thing, but I think, as I said, there are people who may have lost jobs or reduced hours or just down. So I think that's just another factor of life at the moment. It's just something that you need to kind of. We're just trying to come up with ideas, so it's good to have somebody else on and come up with other ideas to try to keep people engaged. It's going to be hard until you can get out.
I mean, when the season starts, what kind of end of March?
Aye.
And you'll get out, and the weather's nice. The weather's not too bad, and you come back and your bike's bogging, you know. And then you'll get to kind of April, May, and it starts to kind of pick up again, doesn't it? And then you're out. Mm-hmm. The clocks change, and that's it. We're kind of back out again. So I think when that starts, you'll kind of probably know.
Aye, I see Gordon's commenting in the track day there. Obviously, you don't have to go hard. Obviously, we were talking about track days, Mark, and how Robert would love to take his Honda on the track, but he's too scared to because he's in case I'm not, which I'd be the exact same. I'd love to take the Z on a track day, but I'd be too scared in case there's a bit of oil on the track and then end up smashing it. But I'd much rather take the blade on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're getting rid of the blade this year anyway, so it'll not matter.
I'll never get rid of the blade. I'll just have a.
That's the one this year.
There'll be three bikes in my garage by next year.
So is that a toss between the S-Thou and Aprilia?
The Aprilia, also a Gen 4 Z-Thou.
I don't know. I think if you get a Z4 and you love it, you'll get rid of your Gen 1.
No, I've put too much into it. I've invested in.
But it's too much at the same bike. I think the Z4 is the same bike, but I don't want to say better, but lighter.
It is better.
And then I think if you've got two the same, that was why I didn't want to make the VFR a street fighter, because I've got the CB, which is a city up bike. I want something different, and I don't know. I think it's different with the 2.0. If you go for a V4, it's a V4, and you've still got the Z-Thou, which is an inline 4, and you've still got you still got the 954, which is you've got this where.
I sway towards the BM.
Right.
At the moment.
Why is that?
Never part with that Z-Thou, by the way. That ain't going to happen.
Never part. Even if I had another Z-Thou Gen 4, I wouldn't part with it.
He's getting the Z-Thou resprayed, which cost him a pretty penny, so there's no way in the world he's going to get rid of that.
What you've got to remember with the Gen 4 and the Gen 1, the Gen 1's got a pillion seat that's a good pillion seat. The Gen 4 pillion seat's like horrendous. So for that alone, I would never get rid of the Gen 1. Whenever the wife comes out with me, the Gen 1 would always be there. Gen 4 would be just an absolute bit of fun. The blade would be rattling the life out of it, or track days.
There's one for you, Chris. What gen is Serkan's bike?
4.
What's that?
That's answered.
He's the Gen 4, so it's slightly quicker, it's a bit lighter. Pillion seat's horrendous, so it's just for one person. I believe you don't really have them doing the Gen 4. That would be the reason. That's one of the main reasons for the Gen 4. But I would always keep the Gen 1 is the pillion seat's just comfortable. Bigger, wider, comfortable.
Why would you go for the S1000 as opposed to the Tuono? What's that?
£1,500.
Aye.
Difference.
Right.
You can get a really good S1000R for 6.5. You're nearly 8 for a Tuono. So you're about 7.5 to 8 for the Tuono.
There's different gens of the Tuono though, aren't there? Because you've got the first ones that came out and then they got better. I think the first ones were a bit shit and then they get better, didn't they?
Yes, 100%. So you kind of need to go into like 2012 models.
Right.
2014 models. Gordon.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You kind of need to go into the earlier models really to get a really good one. Like there's a boy who's been out with loads and I can't remember what years. I want to say a 16 his is, and he paid a pretty penny for it. So he did. But what a machine. But again, I just wouldn't pay that kind of dough for it. So that's what I would roughly pay. Like 6.5 would be like my kind of, for a toy anyway. That's how I see the toys.
Yeah. Do you not see it though? The fact that you've got Z1000, which is like an inline 4, the 954 is an inline 4. Do you know what to go something a bit different?
Well, I had the twin and the Daytona 955. All the noise of the twin is brilliant. But no, that doesn't really bother me. It's literally what I like. That's how I feel more than that's that and that's that. Aye.
Right, so we'll give it kind of 5-minute warning. So we'll start with you, Lockwood. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say, mate? Promote yourself. This is your chance.
I mean, I've had a good night. I hope I get invited to one in the future, and then we can have a chat about it. But no, all I can say is I just hope the whole COVID thing, you know, we're all getting jagged, aren't we, at some point? And I think this year's going to be, I suppose it's going to be some kind of thing to what's going to happen the next few years. But no used to this. I think last year was an inconvenience, and I don't think we knew what it was and what was happening. I think this year we're maybe getting more of a just on what's going on. And we realise that it's not just a passing phase, it's maybe going to be with us for quite some time. But all I can say is here's hoping we can get out for some runs this year and do some stuff. I think what you guys are doing is immense. I think it's a revelation, the fact that we're all, as far as Ayrshire's concerned, we're all getting together, we're all meeting up at the end of the universe in Largs. And we're all doing our thing. And, you know, I think it's great the fact that we're just all kind of sticking together. And I've seen a lot of folk that I never knew, and I'll go to the chippy runs and I'll know who they are and I'll see them, and I might not say anything, but I know who they are, you know, and like Grant and stuff like that. I'll see Grant's there at all of them. Grant and Carol's there, you know, and I'll see them there and I know who they are. And I'll see you guys there now, and you know, and I think it's great, you know, just our wee community, and we can kind of build on it. So this year, let's just see what happens, and just keep doing what we're doing, and hope things get better.
Aye,
but that's it. So I've got to say.
Good mate. Grant,
just going to echo what Robert said. Going through kind of crap times now, but I think what you have done with that page, like I said, Robert, apology. Nice to put a face to things, and next time we're doing it large and come and have a chat with you. It's nice to actually getting to meet people. You know what I mean? We're like-minded people, and I know we're only doing it large maybe for a couple of years now, and getting talking to more people and more people share your interests, and hopefully this year, we'll see it. we can get something done.
Mm-hmm.
So if things relax a wee bit, we can at least get a couple of local runs done, a couple of wee meetups, because it feels like forever just now.
Yeah.
Aye.
So I just basically echo what Robert said, and aye. And thanks for having us. I kind of enjoyed it, man, because I was sitting it, but I enjoyed it, man. So, like Robert said, maybe get invited back. Cheers.
No bother, mate. Chris, end to end with? Nah.
Nah, just what will be. We can get. I think it's more for people's mental, especially when you've been on bikes for so long and you're used to getting out and you're used to being on your bike. I think for your mental health, you need it. You miss it. It's hard times now, so just echo if anybody ever needs to talk, even if you don't know it. Like as Robert says, he knows who Grant is, but never spoke to him. That doesn't matter. Bikers are bikers at the end of the day. We're here to help anybody if we can. If anybody ever needs a chat or just needs to somebody to go out and a bike ride with, hit us up. 9 times out of 10, somebody will be available and everybody's there. So it is. But listen, it is what it is. But everybody's in the same boat. Everybody just wants to be on their bike. So hopefully in the next couple of months for the season starting, we'll get stuff done.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mark, yeah.
Yeah, I've got plenty to say, you know what I'm like, mate.
Here we go.
First of all, thank everybody for in the chat tonight. There's some really good questions in the chat and good answers as well. Thanks to Grant, GMT07 biker, to Robert Lockwood for joining us in the chat tonight. Sorry, Scott and I've had to jump off, but obviously technical issues and all the rest of it. I had to reset everything about 20 minutes ago, as you probably know. I bounced that.
I was the same, yeah.
Just the way the internet can be. But I just want to also point out that obviously people have went on and subscribed to GMT07 Biker and Lockwood, and I want you to keep that going. It's not just about the basic bikers. The reason we picked the name is because we are just basically bikers. And as Chris said there, we're here for anybody that wants to have a conversation with us, and that can be about anything. That can be about ride-outs, it can be about this is bugging me, that's bugging me, where's the best place I can go to get something done on my bike. We're bringing more and more people into this, so hopefully it's not just an Ayrshire thing, by the way. It obviously covers the whole of Scotland, and anybody that wants to join us for down south as well is always welcome. But for us, it's if you want to have a conversation, you need some help with something, you've got a question, just fire it in the comments. We're going to do one of these live streams every 2 weeks because they've been popular so far. It's only our second stream. We're going to do every 2 weeks, and we're going to keep in contact with everybody. All right, so it's cheers for me.
Before you finish up though, also if anybody's got a question about a bike that any of us have, pop it in the house if we can help you out. Somebody's done it a few months ago. They wanted to know where the coolant was in the Z. They wanted to know how to change battery, air filter.
You did a thing on that recently, didn't you? Yeah.
I wanted to post it. So the likes of Indy's got an MT07 and need a question. Where's this or how do you do this? If Grant can help you, you'll be more than happy. And same with Robert for his CBE
and his
and Mark's obviously his FZ1. If you need any help, if we can, pop it in the comments. If we can help you, we will. If we can't help you, there's 1,400 people we can ask on our Facebook page, and we'll get an answer for you.
And that's it. So I'm about to end the stream. So what?
Thanks for the 500 subs.
Oh, aye, brilliant. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll get that posted up for a celebration.
Can I say a wee shout out to the Punkster? Listen, if you want to come up for a chippy run, just stay over at mine for the night. Easy enough. Just come and stay over for the night. We'll go to Lag the next day and we can have a chippy run, and that's us. Sorted. Yep.
Right, thanks guys. We'll catch up with you soon. 2 weeks time. See you later.
Everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Right,